Okay, we're live. The year is 503 in Salisbury. Or at least part of our stories in Salisbury tonight. This is Pendragon. In the years between the death of Uther and the coming of the once and future king. We're going to quickly do some introductions of our players, and then we'll dive right into the game. We'll start with you, Thomas.
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I will be playing Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke, and Marshal of Salisbury, and also proud owner of this cat who might beat me up. No, Lily, please leave me alone. But yes, that's me. I am organizing war.
Lily cameo for everybody. Mark.
Hello, I am Mark, aka the Cat's Meow, and today I'll be playing Sir Florence of Idmiston and the Baron of Axe. Definitely not a spy for the King of Cornwall, and maybe future King of all of Britain. We'll have to see. Yeah, I'm excited for today, and playing my second character, his brother, whose name is
Rhodri.
Rhodri. And he dances in the sand, I think. Yeah.
Rio?
Yeah.
It was yes.
Duran Duran reference.
That's me. I love some Duran Duran.
Yeah. Liam.
Hi, everybody. I am Liam. I will be playing Sir Cato of Salisbury. I guess he is still of Durnford? Yeah? Is that right?
Yep.
That's right? Yeah.
Yep.
He's currently doing some fun stuff, and if you don't immediately recognize that name, you will soon. So
Indeed.
Y'all know it soon enough.
Indeed.
I see. It runs in the family.
Okay, so for those that heard some of those references, you might be a bit confused because I talked about last game. Hold on, I'm going to pull us off the winter phase here and let people see what's up. Winter phage.
Before the dark times. Before the winter phage.
The winter phage is
wrong.
real.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the winter phage here. Mark, I think your mic is hot or something. There we go.
Because I'm typing loudly.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. No, it didn't sound like typing. It sounded like you were wiggling something. Okay, that made sense. It sounded like you were wiggling a mic. It's all good. Okay, so real quick, we are going to be spending a little bit of time. We're kind of rushed with the introduction of what's taking place in 503, and I kind of want to step that back a tiny bit. Most of it's the same. Here's what's going to go on. There is, in late February, there is talk that some of the Saxon armies are mustering, and Ulfius is called for a muster himself in Silchester. I believe Salisbury agreed to answer the call. It's not clear who else will be answering the call. It is clear that, or they have confidence that Wessex will not be participating in this because they would have been seen marching through Silchester, and there was no warning signs of that. Plus, Dallin never contacted anyone. So your own liaisons and ambassadors there did not identify that.
Our southeastern borders are still being defended, though.
Mm-hmm. So what is slightly changing is we're gonna do Easter in Sarum with those who remain, because it's gonna be about the same time as probably the armies meet, right? And then we'll go back and do probably next episode. We'll do the wedding, assuming the correct people aren't dead, for said wedding to take place. So. If that does go forward, we'll be trying to get Gary on for that one as Ulmir, the brother of Ufo. So let's dive in here, gang. let's see here. We're gonna start with the Salisbury feast. So this will be Florence, Cynstenian, and Cato. Cato has a default spot, so there's no worry about rolling your app for you. I'm gonna talk to you in a second about that, Virgil. We'll talk about what we want to do there. But
I'll roll it anyway, Bob. Here we go.
yeah. We don't have a stat, do we?
How pretty is Cato?
Yeah. No, I got it.
My valet succeeded, so I get a +1 to my appearance. Ooh.
Oh, Cynstenian. What's going on?
I might be the blessed, but it's Edrich who got the good looks before the rigors of age.
Oh, brother.
Speaking of which, Cynstenian is 37 this year.
Getting up there.
I don't think I did the aging for him.
He's so old.
He's so old.
For the purpose of this feast, I don't think so, but let's bring him up to let's keep the secondaries kind of up, at least within range of a year or two, so we can, bring them in as needed. I've been thinking a lot about a model for if things get divided enough. I'm going to propose the old what was that game, Ars Magica model of like following one guy's perspective with two secondary characters and swapping between those views.
Indeed.
But that would only be if we don't see a reunited Knights of the Sword. I think it's an option.
Yeah.
Wow, there goes my voice. Hey, Razzmatazz, welcome in. Okay, so let's talk about this here. We have Cynstenian below the salt. Florence, you are near the salt. I did want to kind of give you guys some map updates. I said I was going to do that, and then I didn't. So, confirmation that Nanteleod was successful in his conquering of Bedegrain and Lambor.
Hell yeah!
So you can see the green now extends all the way out to Lindsay.
Oh, that's not as good as it could
And
be.
then all the way down to Clarence. So it's... so if we were
I'm
to...
going to need to step away for a minute, but I'm still listening.
Yeah. So if we were to go ahead and kind of draw in Gentian, they're right on your borders, or right on Gentian's borders now. Or I guess they're one county away from Gentian's borders, to be more accurate.
Indeed. They better not get conquered before they have a chance to pay us more.
So one thing we should do is establish who's here from the royal side of the fence, or not royal, the ruling family, the count and earls. So Ufo's not here; he'll be at war. Did I clarify whether Erwin was joining you guys, or was he staying behind while you went? Because I think Virgil
I don't believe you clarified.
Yeah, I don't think that was mentioned.
Would you like Erwin to be present, or would you like him to be a safeguard while you guys are away? What way do you trust him more, I guess?
I think
you have Virgil
Edrich
and
definitely...
you.
Yeah. I think Edrich trusts him as a replacement for Edrich if Edrich takes the fall. And if Virgil, you're remaining home, right?
Nope.
No.
Virgil's going.
No. Virgil was the first to volunteer to go.
Yes, that's right. You're in the vanguard. Erwin will be staying home and protecting the interests of Salisbury.
Sounds
Right
good.
here, Edrich left me in charge. That sounds about right.
No, you're not. That's why Erwin's home.
Yep.
Virgil has a directed trait of trusting Sir Erwin, so he's pretty...
Oh,
He's
you
fine.
do? I thought you were making a joke, and then I'm like, no, you're right.
Nope, I do legitimately.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. And
Bandits raised his house, and I was like, you know what? I think it's okay.
Pardon me while I quickly put a token together that I forgot to grab real quick.
Listen, Mr. Kitty, I know I've got shrimpies, and I know that I'm eating the shrimpies. These shrimpies are not for you, and you've already knocked over not one, but two things in the amount
Come
of...
on, man.
Two
Let me have
shrimpies.
some shrimpies.
Yeah.
They're my shrimpies.
This stream's been brought to you by Shrimpies.
I shrimpy. Shrimpy is the shrimp.
What's the
It's the
slogan
flavor
for
we
Shrimpies?
crave.
They were actually cornmeal fried, deep fried, peppered shrimps, and they were so fucking good.
That does
Right.
sound nice.
Low southern. No, what was it? It was low country style is what it was called.
No country.
Low country.
When it's crazy sometimes when you think like you're all prepared and then you forget some pretty big stuff.
That's
But
that's
alas.
the way, man.
Yeah. This is the way, indeed.
You can get some shrimpies at Lucille's, is the chain that I went to. They're quite good barbecue places here in Southern California, at least in the greater Long Beach area. But I doubt that's helpful for you.
Lucille's, sponsor us. This is free advertisement with the
Lucille.
8
I wasn't
people
gonna-
watching.
I wasn't gonna say their name, and then somebody directly asked me, and I felt like I had to, you know.
It's fair. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly just do it the old school way and put the coat of arms as its own icon right next to the guy, and then there we go. That is dealt with. So you have a guest with the heraldry of Lindsay. People were real curious about that. Kind of from a drama side, right? Because Lindsay had claimed Bettigrain and Lambor just before Nanteleod had conquered it. So people are like, ooh, what's going on with Lindsay? You know, it's kind of the buzz right now. On top of that guest, your favorite person in the world, Kinrick, is here as well.
My boy.
Yeah. Where did I put him? I might have deleted him.
Over
Like,
here.
Oh, not
Yeah.
Kenrick. Kinrick. Son
Oh.
Yeah. Of Wessex.
Oh.
Everyone who hasn't
not my boy.
everyone who hasn't played this game is like, yeah, right. Like they're supposed to know what that means. So, all these friggin' names, right? This is like George R. R. Martin, the RPG. This guy.
We know 17 Kenricks, but yes. Oh god, he's
Oh.
giant.
That's Virgil's bro. That's a bummer.
Well, not anymore.
He too is here.
Kenrick. Son of Kenrick.
Yeah.
Kenrick, son of Cerdic.
Cerdic. What? It all
Mark,
sounds the same. to
come
me.
on, is Kenrick Ap Cerdic?
Kenrick Ap Cerdic.
Yeah.
Kenrick ap Cerdic, son of
And then it's Cerdic Apt Vortigern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start there. There's also one more person present, and I'll bring them up as well. Nanteleod too has brought a herald.
Oh, yay. Great time for the marshal to
Uh-oh.
not be here.
Uh-oh.
All right. So that is the situation. And then if you count Florence as the traitorous scum of the Cornwall that he is, then you might consider him as well. But most of the people here don't. So. All right.
Cynstenian was given a list of contingencies and things to keep in mind. Edrich can't write, Cynstenian can't read. It was a mess all around.
That's hilarious. I left him a list. Did he read it? He can't read. Oh, so what's he going to do with
I
that?
can't read either.
Yeah.
Can't read. Well, did you get someone to read it for him? No, it's important information. You can't just have that handing it out.
And
They-
another thing, every priest we have dies of plague.
It's true. Okay, and actually these squires are no longer squires, so I'm going to take them down here and figure out what they're doing later. Let's go ahead and dive in. When we get to Cato's turn, we're not just going to dive into the round, we're going to figure some stuff out about him, okay? Florence, it is your go. It's round 1 out of 3. Obviously, you know that the Saxons are threatening to take London because of the early spring, and you also know that that much of the forces of Salisbury have left to go deal with that.
Yep.
Some of the
Including
key figure, including Rhodri as well, by the way.
No.
So I'll put him over here. Okay, your go.
That sounds like a big mess of not my problem at the moment. He's going to draw some cards.
Okay.
See if he can be popular again. 4 cards, I believe, for his current honor. Glory, I mean. 10,000.
That's right.
You know, just bragging.
So let's see if you get another host card. Oh, 2 host cards.
2 host cards. Oh, and a
Host
lost
speaks
child.
at length.
No
Two
one's
the
lost
finding
host
that
card.
child.
The lost child is also a host card.
I can't find my way around my own
Robert, it's
castle.
you.
Didn't we get the host speaks at length at one time and it was like Robert when he was like 8 or 6 or something?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
he was talking about flowers or something.
Everyone's like, that's great. That's
I
wonderful.
wrote a poem about that moment, by which I mean I dictated it to a priest.
All right.
I think we're gonna do A Lady in You.
Yeah, I assume so.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Everyone here is surprised. Everybody.
You
Blown
believe
away.
me, chat, right? It is a surprise. Put a poll up, Bob. No.
There we go. Yeah, so I'm assuming this is Ellen, unless you want it to be Jenna or...
I think Lady Ellen works.
Yeah, I'd say Lila is probably the next daughter of a... So, Ellen, given the narrative of before.
I think that works well.
All right. What is the topic?
What do they spend time with conversating?
Or do you
I
like
think it
her
would be-
to decide?
I think he would leave it to her, but I imagine it could be something to do with the foreigners come here to beg for our help or something, or I guess bow.
I think... well, what's it say? Yeah, okay. I think if we do that, it's gonna be a bit more like she's leaning on you, even though she has Erwin and other people of the council. Without Edrich and Virgil here, it's pretty much just you. Like, it's not that she doesn't trust Erwin,
No.
but I think she gravitates to Florence because Florence has been around with her since, like, effectively not long after you were knighted. You retrieved
Pretty much.
Ellen.
I think I've known her pretty much the entire time she's been countess.
Remember, she was the one who the feud for Lev Kamagus was fought over.
Exactly,
He wanted
yeah.
her hand, and that's what that was all about. So,
I think probably also as a side thing, I think Florence might have the most glory of the knights in Salisbury at the moment. Because a lot of the older ones are dead.
Yeah, I think so. Because
Yeah, oh, yeah.
you and I are on the highest end of that, and you're higher than me, because I keep on getting hit with javelins.
Shame that Florence isn't really a knight of Salisbury anymore. You know.
How dare you? He is as loyal as something or other.
Stop
Something
talking
rather.
to our countess. Your king is going to order you to kill her son. Stop it.
all right.
But yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, so obviously, I would suggest that goes well, and part of the +1 geniality there is because there's a bit of a buzz in the court. Oh, look at Florence and Ellen are talking again. You know what I mean? I think there's people that are shipping that relationship at this point, and then there are others that are like a little more like either jealous or Suspicious, yeah.
I think pretty much everything is kind of going Florence's way in this regard. Like last time he was popular, now he has the ear of Lady Ellen, is basically helping to counsel her. I think this is going pretty well.
Indeed. So you only get 1 or 2 genealogy total for the round?
Actually, I would get 1 for the card.
Yeah.
Because I also get 1 for the assault.
Yeah, 2 total.
Oh, no, I get 1 next round. Sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So it's kind of like you and her go around, and then you do the other actions, and she's with you as your converser.
Yeah. All right, makes sense.
Good. Is a keep this card one, right? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we go to Cynstenian.
Just a question. So, this is that actually Nanteleod, or is that a herald of Nanteleod?
They didn't announce him as Nanteleod. You'd think if it was a king, he'd have a crown, or equivalent.
I think at this point, is this a 3-round feast or a 2-round feast?
This is. If you were Edrich, by the way, you'd know who that was, but you're not Edrich, so you have no fucking idea. It is a 3-round feast.
In that case, what I'm going to do at the start, Cynstenian is going to settle in, and he is going to draw some cards. I believe 3? I don't have his glory total on my sheet, but he's been in a few things.
Overindulgence.
It'd either be 3 or 2.
It'd be a minimum 2. What's 3 is 4,000? And he's 37?
3 is 4,000.
You probably have 4,000. Yeah. What's Virgil at? Virgil's at like 6 or 7 now, right?
Virgil's at 8.
8. There you go. Yeah.
Oh,
I think 4 is reasonable.
I lied. He's at 7,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like 4 is probably pretty reasonable for like any aging knight, like moving into, you only got a few more years of fighting.
Indeed. And he's fought in significant battles. Of these, I am going to select great deeds. Several knights ask me to tell of my great deeds. Let's see how humble Cynstenian the Blessed is. I'm going to roll modest versus proud.
You drone on about your stewardship.
Oh yeah, I'm such a good fucking steward. That is a modest success, so I don't need to roll orate, which is a shame. But basically, he's like, Gentlemen, please, we are all Knights of Salisbury, and I am merely a vessel for the Lord our God, doing the will of both the one above and Lord Robert. I have no need for greater glory. For that is the greatest thing I can have upon myself.
Oh, brother!
It would be it would be storming terrible.
Yeah, it's either terrible or escorting. You escorted Morgan as well, but
Indeed, yeah. Or fighting, like arresting the doppelganger of his brother.
Yeah, something like that. Though that's probably like people just like, oh yeah, sure you did there, but yeah. Nevertheless, you get 5 glory and 2 geniality. Because
right.
you're below the salt, you would have 3.
Indeed.
Yeah. But
He's not as pretty as he'd like to be.
that tends to happen
Get yourself a
to.
valet.
Listen, in the Nanteleod game, we have another Christian knight, and they too are so frequently on below the salt that they are known as the Dog Knight. So,
Indeed.
yeah. Okay, that brings us to Cato. So,
Yeah.
I kind of want to zoom in on something, just a flashback, because I think it's important. Like, there are events that go through these characters' lives, but they age up so quick and we don't see them, and they're not your perspective character. And And it doesn't have to be this super role-played thing, but you can add to it. We'll workshop it a bit,
Sure.
Liam. But I think one of the key events of Cato's life was his mother's death. And I think he was there when she was in delivery with her. Kind of when the person who's probably... I don't know who would be delivering out of your group, but effectively you receive the news, Cato receives the news that his mother won't make it. She's losing a lot of blood. Again, I think we don't have to have an exchange here or emphasize it too much.
It's just context.
Yeah.
How old would he have been when that happened? He was...
I think it was 3 or 4 years ago.
He was born in 85, and his mother died in 96.
11.
With the... Yeah, so 11. He would have been 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Cato has had a pretty interesting life so far. He's well older than even his oldest sibling, and
single child syndrome.
Yeah, I think like I'm pretty sure Kay was the second son. You know, Anna was born. Yeah, Anna's 8 years younger than him. So he's definitely, I think, kind of not as close to them. And I think we'll find Cato at this part of the feast. He's arm wrestling with a couple of the other squires.
Okay. So I want to narratively, I want to do something with this. I want you to decide either randomly or at your discretion. He will have one famous trait when he's of age, which is only 3 years from now. What is said trait? 16.
Yeah, and Valorous is already going to be at 16 by knightlyhood in general, right?
Valorous is 15 by default for a knight, but you can make it your famous by going to 16.
Yeah, that does feel like a waste of a 16.
I think that's why they do that. Yeah. But if that's how you see him, totally go for it.
I think it is so far. You know what? Let's do energetic. I think he's 16 energetic.
Okay. Perfect. Mix it up a bit. Okay, so for the purposes of tonight, if there should be any rolls, if it's something that makes a lot of sense for your squire action, you can roll your age, 18. If it is anything else, it's a 9. Half of that age, right? With the exception of energetic, which will be rolled at 16. Sound good?
Gotcha. All right. Can I make an argument for using energetic for the arm wrestle then?
Yes, why not?
He is Virgil's son, after all.
Yep. Now, is this something he does because Virgil does it, or is it something he actually likes to do too?
Definitely think it's I think it's a source of pride that he has about who his father is that his father has always been very strong, and he's got that too. So, I think it's a little bit of both. That's a 3 out of 16 success.
Awesome.
It's not so Virgil.
I don't think we need to counter roll that. Because unless you want to go through a lineup of people, I think we can just say that was successful. Whoever you face this time, you quickly put them down, so to speak.
Nice try, Chauncey, but you still haven't gotten one on me yet.
Yeah, they look dejected. Damn it, they're so mad. Sorry.
Made an enemy for life.
Indeed. I think he's probably gotten a bit of a reputation as being strong, so it's fairly common. And to put a little bit more narrative edge on this, I think you see the equivalent of a squire for Kinrick, the Saxon.
Ooh.
he comes over, kind of eyes, he's also sitting on the floor paying respects, kind of by himself because no one here wants to talk to a Saxon. And he comes over, he's a pretty big kid. He looks like he kind of wants to go.
I think Cato smiles and just like gestures at the chair and he goes, "Oh, you would do nothing more than please me by just sitting there."
Are you the strong one around here?
I am when my father's not around. Actually, I've been away for a few years, squired in Baroque. But I like to stop by when I can. What's your story?
Barrack, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I never did understand why the Barrack Saxons seem to be so welcomed, and yet the very son of Vortigern himself is ostracized.
Well, the way I see it, the way my father sees it, it's all about mutual respect. When you know what you can expect from another person, when you know you can trust them, relationships start to build from there, right?
Right. With that, he'll sit down in front of you at the other end of the table, like he wants to give this a go.
You know, spending a lot of time in Baroque, I spend a lot of time with Saxons. It's reasonable to assume that I'd have a more charitable interpretation of them than a lot of those here. A lot of those here that have lost family to them. Friends. But I don't see it like that.
No?
After all, no. After all, you're sitting at this table across from me because you found me interesting. Nothing more relatable than that.
I think he's gonna face you first, and then we'll he'll give his name. I don't think he's gonna give his name first.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
And his name, Merlin Jr.
I was just about to make that joke, but then it was like, no, I shouldn't make a snide Albert Einstein reference. When it's not my scene, I'm so glad you did it for me.
Okay. He looks impressed. As you beat him, it's a bit tough at first, and then kind of you brace yourself better, then you just drop him quick from there.
And I remain undefeated within my league.
The name's Merward.
Merward. Alright. Cato. Of Durnford.
Oh. I thought that looked familiar. He motions to your lapel. You must be a relative of Dallin.
I indeed am. Dallin is my first cousin? My aunt? My great aunt? It's hard to keep track these days.
Would he know that Dallin is his aunt?
Oh, uncle. Oh, maybe actually, because Dallin. Here's the thing. The Saxon guy definitely would.
Yeah.
So I would. I don't know. I'm gonna say Cato wouldn't know. So he'll say uncle.
He screws up, raises a brow. I think he's gonna think that this is a language barrier issue. He's got the wrong word, because of the confidence Cato says that. But he will say, she's always messing up her address. Says Durnford rather than Blackboar, and corrects it.
Well, like I said, our memories run deep and our loyalties even more so. It's one of the reasons why your people and mine have so much issues, I think. But you've met me as an equal, and I've defeated you. I think that's the start of some potential loyalties, right? Won't stop me from killing you if I have to, mind you, and I doubt it would stop you either, but I think maybe we can look at some future where we're not having to do that at all.
That is my hope, too. He says, my father is half Cymric.
Really?
Gwesi, he says. You know that you wouldn't have any friggin' ideas, Cato, what the hell that means, probably. You have folk.
Oh.
You know what? Folklore. I know you'll have an abnormally large, high number. Maybe we'll do a third of 18. Roll against a 6. How's that sound? Yeah. For the stuff that...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea what that is.
You probably think Gwesi's his name.
See. Gwesi. That's, What's the name of that dog in that movie, right? Gwesi come home? Is that...
Boo. All right. We can move on from there unless you have something you want to add.
Nope.
Okay. Okay. One of the things that's kind of buzzing around right now is something that apparently Nanteleod said in the winter has picked up quite the conversation around all of Logres, actually, a lot of the Cymru areas. It's kind of like a thought on philosophy and the state of knights in Anarchy. And he talks a bit about knights in service. And basically, it kind of contrasts with the self-driven ideals of Anarchy for knighthood. It's effectively knights in service understand the true strength lies in duty, loyalty, and careful application of power. These knights are energetic in their duties, brave in the face of danger, but they temper their actions with justice and mercy. Their strength is matched by a sense of modesty and prudence.
Cynstenian loves that shit.
Yeah, it's great.
So there are kind of like people on both sides of this debate. It's very polarizing. Like there are some that are very against it. And then that kind of labels those people as, well, why are you against it? You know, is it, what part of it isn't correct? And the best argument most people have for it is it's not realistic. It doesn't represent men. And then there are others that are like, maybe it should.
There are very few, acceptable ways to argue against maybe we should be nice and use our power wisely.
Yeah. So that's kind of the big buzz. All right, and you're all hearing that. And that is the end of round 1, so we'll go to round 2 with Florence.
All right. Florence is going to begin his round with a little bit of intrigue, assisted by the Lady Allen. I think the main thing right now is he wants to talk to the Herald of Nanteleod and try and get an idea of where Nanteleod is aiming his sights. Whether he's going to continue going east, or if he might be making his eyes towards the southern area of the isle.
I want you to do a recognize roll, Florence, to get a little bit closer. I'm starting
Alright,
to think.
any bonuses?
I'm starting to think Florence is nearsighted. Other than your geniality, no. Yeah.
Okay. I think he is. I think he genuinely is.
Okay.
Hey, nice.
There you go.
Okay.
You remember?
Oh no, I was gonna say it would have been a crit. No, not.
No, not quite. But you can tick it, and you recognize as you get a little bit closer. You're like, "Oh, that's Sir Lane." You remember him when you went on the feast crawl, the great Esther Gale's feast crawl. He was the one from Escavalon who escorted you guys out to the Irish lands of Estergales. Yeah, he was your escort. If you remember the two the Duchess and Duke of Clarence and Glevum were with you guys arguing the whole time. If you recall that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They were the two relatives of Eldol, the guy who
the daughter and the grandson.
Yeah, the great Knight of Long Knife's table leg wielder that fought his way out.
I watched him ride off into the sunset.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so that's Elaine. You don't know a lot about him other than that. It's been several years. He was a young knight, kind of much the same as you back then. So, and he's probably like, where you're like, what are you, 40 or 38 now?
30. I don't think he's quite 40 yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Or 64.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. What is your approach here? How are you going to do this? And then let's give you an intrigue roll off the bat afterwards to figure out how well this goes. Oh, we lost you for a sec.
I dropped.
Oh, we lost Thomas for a sec.
I dropped 2, I think.
You guys-
Coming back in speed.
Yes, back now. I think the Aussie internet had a few issues.
Yeah. How you know you're in the same general country or area, right? You guys went one at a time too, it was like cascading. But as I was saying, for Florence, you can do an intrigue test and then give me your general approach, maybe before you intrigue.
Right. I think his general approach is very like, sir, it was Elaine?
Elaine.
Elaine. Sir Elaine, it's funny running into you here. How are you doing? Kind of cordial stuff, and then kind of asking him about how's his king doing, the plans going forward. Very much just kind of weaving it into the conversation as he pushes it in the direction he wants.
Okay.
Very diplomatic in his intro.
Sounds good. So give me a test.
Florence is, if anything, a diplomat first. And we'll see if Roll20 wants to work.
It did.
There we go.
It did work.
Success.
Okay.
Low success, but a success.
I'm gonna do a contested, but you're gonna get your geniality regardless.
Yeah.
Contested will determine what of value you get beyond the scope of the geniality. So,
Whether he gives me what he wants to give me or what I want to get.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think the exchange here is he actually is trying to kind of do the same to you, not for Salisbury, but for Cornwall. But you're going to succeed and he fails, so...
Yeah. I think Florence does the thing where he offers up information that sounds useful, but really isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's a general, like, he's just happy to see you again, because I think he was, like, I think he was a knight, but like just barely the last time you saw him.
Yeah.
So he's like he's super excited to see you. I want to say it was like 493 or 4. So 10 years ago. Yeah, he was a younger knight then. He's like in his early 30s now. But what you learn about what Nanteleod's kind of thinking is he says, to be honest, King Nanteleod means to become High King. He's told Cambria, all of it, of such, and he has the support of almost all of Cambria, with few exceptions. There are those that prefer to be more absent in his conquests, but they are still supportive by tribute.
How goes he in earning the favor of the Collegium?
Well, he's not tried that approach. In fact, after seeing the Collegium fail to come together at Duke Ulfius's behest, and seeing that he had little by way of a name of a conqueror under his belt, he thought it necessary to earn the respect. And that has brought him to Logres. I will note that there are those counties who have bent the knee to him willingly. Why, the very Duchy of Glevum has done so, and the County of Warrensis.
Out of curiosity, does he seek the crown of Logres, or simply to ensure its safety going forward, to help fight off the Saxon menace, as it were? As he kind of looks over towards the Wessex kindling.
He says, and this is where your intrigue is going to play out. He says Logres is a very important part of Britain, a major part of Britain. London is one of the key cities. As you know, Carlisle and London are the major ports, really. Does he seek direct kingship of Logres? I think uniting Logres again as one entity is his desire. As far as holding to become the High King and the King of Logres, much as Vortimer might have hoped should he have been successful. No, I would say that Nanteleod has thoughts about who might be a better fit to rule Logres.
Curious. Has he voiced such opinions, or is it merely speculation?
I speak too much in the way of speculation. That's bullshit, by the way. You can tell.
Yeah.
He failed his role, so you can tell.
Understandable. As often we can sometimes get wrapped up in our conversations. Kind of pats him on the back.
What I can say is that many would welcome such a Logres king. And
I would imagine. But my 2 cents, it would seem some sort of agreement with Ulfius would do quite well for a prospective king. High King, rather. And he kind of watches closely to see his reaction.
There are greater dangers and more pressing matters than Ulfius in the Vale. And Ulfius would indeed, if his reputation is true, would indeed make a great ally. I'll be sure to share this with my lord.
Of course, and please send him my best regards as well. It has been a long time since I've spoken to him, but I remember him being most charismatic and most kind. I'm
This
sure
one's-
in his claimship of High King, there would be few men more honorable and deserving of such titles.
He nods to that. All right, and I think what he ends up walking away with Cornwall is he. Would you have buried mention of Mark being in Summerland?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mention that at all.
So
Absolutely
no, you wouldn't. No, what I was wondering is if you buried Mark, like you're like, oh, let's sell him down the river. Yeah.
Oh no, I think he knows better.
Okay.
I think it's a little too close to be like, I'm gonna piss off the next king of Cornwall. I'm sure that'll go well for me.
It'll
All right.
go great. Throw him under the bus.
Future boss. That would be great.
But
But no, I think that a lot of the details he gives him are very generic of like the idea that, Cornwall has always been about ensuring the future of the people of Cornwall and, their loyal king. And, there's also been some scuffles with, I forget the name of the county, but the county we tried to conquer and failed. And, saying that the king's looking at different avenues of, ensuring the future of the land.
Dorset, what you speak of?
Yeah, Dorset.
Okay,
Essentially, he's just bullshitting.
perfect. All right, so I think the genealogy is correct there. +1, right? Is what you get for her.
+1 for the Dutch, not Duchess, Countess at his side.
We will move to Thomas Cynstenian. Sorry for
Here's
that, guys.
why
There's
he's not
some
the head.
plot pieces there that were relevant, so I wanted to zero in
No,
on
it's
that.
all good.
Yeah.
It's very, very nice.
Here's why he's not the head of the household.
He knows exactly what he should do, exactly what would be best, which is as a courtly knight himself, famous intrigue, famous courtesy, to learn more about what's going on. However, he has an exalted passion too. In fact, one of them is honor, and as much as he lives with it in his personal day-to-day life, he's hearing this culture shift of what it means to be a knight. It's not exactly an action, but I think he would like to, based on that understanding of personal honor and outward kindness and justice, he'd like to try and be a spokesperson for that kind of thing, or try to convince some of the more ardent holdouts. Basically say, yes, it's a good thing to be a knight and to be of service to others. In the absence of a king, one must define themselves by service to the liege and service to the people. If that's not an action, that's fine. I can think of something else. But
Do you
I
want
think
to?
that's
Well,
what
that
I'm
would be
interested in.
there'd be like gossip. Effectively, it'd be intrigue roll.
Yes.
So one thing I kind of clicked is you can gossip. Usually we use that as I want to retrieve information, but it's also I want to put this topic out there, not necessarily for nefarious means. Just I want to, So you can be genial that way. Yep, absolutely.
I would like to activate his honor passion. This is a very low stakes roll, but I think
He's gonna put his whole chest into this and his whole arse into other things.
Your honor's a 20, right? Without the 2 genealogy.
Yep, his honor's a 20.
'Cause-
That's why it's exalted.
yeah.
That's why he's doing this instead of something useful. So let's give it a go and see how it goes. That is a terrible roll, but nonetheless a success.
Okay. Intrigue 11. I think what happens is there are those around you. You're kind of chiming in on the topic, right? And making sure that your position is established on that, yes?
Exactly. He's being persuasive as he can and basically understanding why people would disagree. Because we've got power. We're the people with the chain armor and the wealth. We can make the decisions of what is important and what is not.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. All right, that's cool.
But yep, that's basically his thing. The thing that Edrich would have done is talk to important people and get more information, much like Florence is doing.
All good. We will move to Cato.
I love Cato. Cato would like to talk to Lady Bronwyn, I think.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I don't think she has the same animosity for... Hold on, let's find out.
She probably hasn't met Cato very often. Like,
No.
not since he was a small boy.
Exactly. But she'd probably still recognize him the way you recognize a boy grown up. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna test her. I'm just gonna test. Let's see if this is an extreme. I don't have a lot of her stats. A 3. Yeah, I think she's just like whatever she might have felt for Virgil, negative or positive. It's like she still sees Cato as a boy growing
His
up.
own person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you tend to forgive children of people that you dislike. You know, it's kind of that thing. And plus, she doesn't even dislike Virgil that much anymore. Like, I think that's starting to be quashed with his recent actions. So, and a general like stagnancy of not drawing blood for a long time. So she kind of smiles and looks at you, and she's like, "Cato, is that you?"
Auntie Bronwyn.
Oh,
Yes. I've been out of Salisbury for the last few years trying to complete my training, but I was given leave to come by this year for Easter, and I wanted to make sure I said hello.
she kind of looks you over, and she says, "Oh my, you do look a lot like your mother."
Yes, I hear that a lot from those who knew her. Still, I actually wanted to ask your advice.
Of course. What exactly are you? How can I help?
Well, I've had some difficulty bringing myself to speak with Lady Lilo. I know that she's been... What I mean to say is... I hear that she makes Father happy. But... Well, you know how Virgil is. I wonder perhaps if I'm putting off a reunion because I'm afraid of what was and not what is. Oh, they're bringing out the roast eagle.
This herb cake tastes like Gemini.
You know what? You know why I was rolling that. So what happens actually in this sense is one of the servants, who's kind of like they serve on the floor as well. It's just like at the very end when everything else. But they seem to be like really kind of catering to Cato, like enough to where a couple of the boys on the floor are like, maybe she likes you, like even though she's clearly much more your senior, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you're just like dumbfounded by it. Like you're like, oh well, my father is pretty popular, I guess. Like, but yeah. But that kind of is a slight interruption from her conversation. She looks at you and she says, I would think it fairly acceptable, Cato, for you to take whatever time you need, even if that's the entirety of your life, to accept her beyond anything more than someone who your father is with now.
Well, ordinarily I would agree with that, but times are so troubling these days. Feels like there's so much division, even within Salisbury, and well, I wonder if maybe the right thing to do is to let go of past things and make sure that we're all working towards the same future.
Okay, I want you to test versus a 9 real quick.
Oh, that's supposed to be a 9, but I hit shift. Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay. What I need to know there is any of this Cato being
Yes.
deceptive?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe not deceptive, but there's definitely he's
A motive.
Yeah, there's a motive behind it. He's not trying to trick her. He's just trying to like make a point without saying it directly. You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna test her proud real quick, and see how she takes it. I think she's not gonna fly off the handle regardless. Yeah, I think she's just like, of course. You'll have to excuse me, Cato, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. Perhaps we could discuss arranging a family occasion between the two sides of the house.
I would like that. Earnestly, I'm not in town very often, but I would like to see my cousins. I enjoy their presence.
Well, they are paged here now, at least the eldest. You're welcome to see them if you wish. In fact, once this feast is all said and done, I'm sure they would be... Actually, yeah, because they're pages, right? They're not squires yet? None of them are squires?
No, they shouldn't be. I think
Yeah.
Jaren, the oldest, is 14, I think.
So he's almost there. Like, she'll say, why, Jaren will be squiring as early as next year if everything goes well.
Oh, that's terrifying to think about. He'll do good. He's got a good namesake, I hear.
You know what? She smiles, and there is, I think, so she's from the Saxon shore. I think she has more contacts from the Saxon shore. I think she, more than some, has a sense. Let's see. Let's give her. She was pretty good at intrigue too, wasn't she?
She was. Not as good as Perin, but she was up there. I think that was one of the things that attracted,
It's like
that
16
made her
or
attractive to him.
something, if I remember.
I think so.
Jaren's,
16
Jaren's
sounds right too.
basically the Batman of the Saxon shores. So of course,
Murdery Batman.
More
Yeah.
the Punisher, but one that
is the
also
Punisher of the Saxon shores.
doesn't draw the line at men.
Batman.
It's more the Anakin Skywalker to the Tusken Raiders.
what if-
Yeah,
What if I just turned around? It's the Bat!
yeah. But she gives this weird smile to Cato, like she knows what Jaren's up to, and she had like vengeful Saxon at like 18 or something like that. Yeah, vengeful and hate Saxon.
It was very high.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very high.
So I think there's
He had
almost
to
this
stop
like
coming to dinners.
there's almost this crooked smile because she knows what the real Jaren's up to, and she couldn't agree more. And she tells her that I couldn't agree more. She does not, however, elaborate on the matter. So
There is one more thing as a personal matter, or I guess administrative. I know that Durnford Manor is under my father's watch these days, but I've been hearing some rumors that the peasantry is not very satisfied with him, especially after Uncle Perin's passing. Maybe you could talk to him, or maybe find someone who's willing to advise him in such matters, because every year it seems like things get a little bit more tense.
Caradoc, yeah. So I think she's gonna ask, do you speak to your father much?
Well, not much lately. It seems we keep missing each other whenever I'm back in town. But, well, you know my father. He's a man of few words and usually very direct ones, but that doesn't leave a lot of room for deep conversation.
If you think he would be willing to take on additional support in Durnford, given Jaren is nearing of age and will soon be squired outside of the manor, and we've been doing well where we are. I think Berwick St. James, right? Isn't that where they took over? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. In Berwick St. James. I could spare Caranog as a household knight for Durnford once more.
That would be wonderful, Sir Caranog. I know you've got a very strong sense of justice. And what with all the bandits recently, I'd say maybe the peasants need a little bit of law and order. Not that my father can't provide. Well, you know.
And Caranog kind of walks up to you and puts a hand on your shoulder. He remembers you from when you were a baby. He's like, consider it done.
Wonderful. It was nice to see you both again. Give my love to my father if I leave before he returns.
Of course. Of course. And with that, we'll move on. So at the end of round, anything else you wanted to add to that, Liam, before I jump?
Nope, I'm good.
I'm
I'm groovy.
Okay. At the end of the round, Cato kind of turns his eyes and he sees this fellow here with the Lindsay. Oh, it's been a while since.
What do you want there, old man?
Yeah. He turns to you and he's kind of, you see him like eyeing your lapel. And he approaches.
Can I help you, Sir Knight?
I don't remember the mullets, but I do remember. Is that Durnford Manor? Sir Perin, Sir Virgil, I believe.
Aye. We lost Perin at St. Albans, but my father, Virgil, has been taking care of the households till his Perin's eldest is of age.
I see. I remember both of them quite well from the Battle of Lindsay. I fought beside them. I'm curious. What is your name, boy?
Cato, sir.
I'm Sir Lane.
An honor to meet you. I've heard of this guy. Cato would have heard of this guy, right?
Recognize +8. So
Okay.
that would be a 6 + 8. So
Would it be Squire? Would this be a Squire one?
no, but you're gonna get a +8, so it's 6 + 8. So you got it's against a 14. We'll do the ones that are hard. We'll be like 1/3, so 6. The ones that are
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, there you go.
That's a success.
Would that count as geniality? Oh, never mind.
Yes, it will.
Oh, give me
Because we didn't
much
roll
money.
anything from the other one, so we'll discount it. You recognize him because you've heard of the banneret of Lane of Lindsay. So he is a knight banneret formerly of Uther, because bannerets owe their fealty to the king, much like barons do.
Yeah, so he's a top dog then, at least by Cato's worldview.
Mhm.
I'm honored that you're looking to talk to me. Can I direct you to someone?
Perhaps. I'll I'll be frank with you. I know these are matters perhaps beyond a squire, but I came all this way to speak to the Marshal, Sir Edrich, and all but beg him to aid us in Lindsay this year. But if I understand it correctly, perhaps you can confirm this for me, as he kind of looks back at the high table. He says, all I get is half answers there. Is it true that Salisbury has answered a muster call from Ulfius?
I am of the opinion that if the High Table is committed to half answers, that they likely have reason to be so. But I will say that many of the knights here on the floor, and the squires too, do believe that answering Ulfius's call to aid would be beneficial, not just in repelling invasion from those that would have our shores, but also for strengthening Salisbury as a whole.
Of course. Things are so different now. When Aurelius was king, knights knew their place. They worked together and spend all their time being suspicious of one another. I understand the importance of whatever Ulfius's muster pertains to. I suspect it pertains to whatever's taking place on the shore. Perhaps it will even be a rightful conquest of the shore, who's to say? What I do know is that I'm here on behalf of the Duke of Lindsay, for we fear that we face not one or two, but 3 threats this year. The Angles to our east, Malahut to our north, and Cambria under Nanteleod to our east. I need to find the right ear, my boy. Someone that will hear me.
I've traveled for my pagedom and my squiredom, and I've seen much of the same everywhere. It's dark times that we're in, and everybody's so concerned about themselves that it makes it difficult to reach out for friends. There was a time when I was younger that I looked up to my uncle, and I guess I called him Uncle Florence at the time, but even now in these dark times, my uncle is gone, and Florence is, like many of us, pulled between 2 places. I don't know if I have an ear that will hear you, at least not one that isn't also torn between protecting what's theirs, people that they have responsibilities to. For all of the violence over who should be king, it certainly feels like we do need one. No one can seem to agree on whether or not they should move without one, or who their friends are.
Indeed.
I wish I had a more satisfying answer for you.
He nods. He says, do pay my regards to your father when he returns.
I will. And if anybody could, I'll make sure that if I see Edrich before he comes back, I'll say something to him.
He nods. All right, and we'll move on to round 3, and we'll probably speed along with this one just so we can have plenty of time out east. We'll go to Florence for round 3.
All right then. Florence is going to do something he probably shouldn't.
No.
As he normally does.
Are you sure?
Not Florence.
But yeah,
Not the Florence
he is
I
going
know.
to take exactly. What have you done with Florence?
Yeah.
Lady Elaine. He's going to take Lady Elaine aside.
Oh.
And during that time, he is going to give her a gift.
Okay.
A necklace.
Zip.
Okay.
Gifts of foreign emissaries must be registered with the
I have a
tax
gift for
office.
And it is my and it will be a necklace that has multiple gems in it: ruby, emerald, and of course sapphire, which may or may not happen to be Florence's house colors. But and he will be attempting a romance roll with her
Okay.
to basically get her to accept this gift, to wear it proudly. And he says something cheesy along the lines of, we've known each other for so long. I just wanted you to know how much you mean to me in these recent troubling years. And I hope you will take this and you will think of me almost as much as I think of you. Some cheesy shit like that.
You Xbox Live motherfucker. You and Earl Robert had a couple of disagreements, and so you take the next logical step.
His mom.
Okay.
All right, now I want to use a passion. However, I don't think I can use hospitality in honest opinion, because I don't think this is to be hospitable.
I don't know if you have a passion that's going to work for this. What
Not Loyalty Lord, if it would count towards King Idris.
Homage Idris would be the only one I think that
Which
would
I
work.
don't have homage Idris. Could I argue that this is all in the name of improving his family status? Again, if not, that's alright, but I wanted to see if I could.
What is the actual intention? Let's start there. Like, why is he... Okay. Why is he maneuvering this way? Beyond the scope of power and beyond the scope of selfishness? Why is...
do you want me to tell you how now, or do you want me to send it to you in a message? Because it may or may not be important towards story or kind of the mystery of what's going on.
Yeah, that's fair. Send it to me in a message, and then I'm going to say no to the impassion. I think it's only fair. I think it's only fair that, like, I think when being a little bit more shifty, unless it's like a shifty oriented one, I think those positive ones don't really work in your favor. So
okay. Meanwhile, why don't you guys have a chat about something?
You got a podcast coming up.
I've got a podcast coming out this coming Friday, the 13th. Is that right? Is that the right?
Yep.
Yes, this coming Friday, the 13th. I've got a podcast coming out. It's called On with the Motley. It's going to be available on YouTube and the Apple Podcast app to start. It might be available on other platforms later on. It depends. But our first episode is going to be on Doctor Doom. We basically take one of our friends that has no knowledge or little knowledge of a subject that we are passionate about, and we give a little lecture on it in a very casual, kind of fun way. And every episode mix a drink. Each one of us mixes or makes or brings a drink that is based on the theme, whether or not we have any idea what the theme is or not. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited about it. And the subject's going to change a couple of times over the course of the next couple of, over the run of the podcast. So come check it out. There'll be some links available when it's out.
Nice.
This
Where you at,
episode
Mark?
is sponsored by corn fried
I
shrimp.
sent it to you.
Delicious corn fried shrimp. Corn meal, which is different than just corn
Gotcha.
fried. Yeah, because the corn fried would be you take a whole thing of corn and then you dip it in the grease and then you roll it over whatever the batter is that you're using, and then
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then you use that as a means of kind of lightly frying something, and then you take them both. You put them in the fryer and pull them out.
Sorry to interrupt. I think we're gonna go back here because I want to close out this round. I think in this case, Florence, it's gonna be unmodified by passion.
Makes sense.
You may use your geniality, of course. Yep.
Yes. Romance +5.
This fucking guy.
Hey.
Success!
Very
God
nice.
damn.
Just to note, you could upgrade that to a critical if you so chose.
No, do not encourage him. Stop it. Stop it.
You have no idea how fucking tempted I am.
If you do it, I'm going to write it down. And then next time you're about to die, I'm going to tell you that you spent it for this year. You can't upgrade. You can't upgrade the fumble.
I can lose Rhodri. I can lose Rhodri.
It won't be Rhodri who needs it.
What's the chances we're going to be attacked for no reason?
God.
You know what? Thomas has convinced me. Fuck it. I'm going to upgrade it to a crit.
Okay.
That's my upgrade done for the year.
I
Right at
am
the
the
beginning, too.
architect of the doom of Valyria.
Oh, Florence is going to fucking die this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the outcome, even with a crit. I think she knows this is. How do I want to put this? I think she's completely I think she's had a crush on Florence for a very long time. Maybe even since Roderick's before Roderick was living, because there were a couple of cards that came out that I recall back then, where that sort of thing was a thing. I think she's completely smitten with Florence, and when he offers her that, she takes it, and this will start in a more, but it will not. She's not stupid enough to put that on in front of an entire court and to be seen by everybody accepting it. So I'm going to give her an intrigue to see if she's good enough to. If she fails this, people saw it. Yeah. People saw her accept it. No. Okay. So it's done in the quiet, and we'll leave it at that. And I'll kind of give you the details. You do know what I can say is that does establish an amour with her. She really doesn't have a right. It's her son's right to decide her fate, like she were any other knight. So,
but she is his mother and would hold standing with him.
Yeah, absolutely. But
so it's not her decision.
Yeah, exactly.
It's complicated.
Okay. Excellent. So that'll be 3 more geniality because of the crit.
Indeed. I love you guys so much. This is great.
All right, that brings us to Cynstenian for round 3.
Cynstenian, now that he has stated his honor and optimism for a better tomorrow, is going to focus on today. Ordinarily, a knight below the salt with no official position would be unable to speak to people who have been above the salt. However, what's his face left that area an honored guest being above the salt, and I think Sir Cynstenian would like, by chance, to intercept him and speak to him. His intent is to ask him about the temperature up there, how Nanteleod's emissary and Atheling Cerdic, Stenric? Which one is it?
Kenrick.
One of the two. Kenrick are handling each other. One Welsh, but altogether Kimrick, the other Saxon.
Spelled like Kimrick, but with an N instead of an M. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you're talking about this fellow, so you're interrupting.
I am.
Intercepting.
Had he not
Take-
gone down to the floor, I would not have access.
Yep. I'll make take an intrigue roll to begin with. You can add your genealogy.
Absolutely. Bear with me for a brief moment.
I think a failure here would indicate. Can you even fail it with 3 genealogy?
If I fail it, I fumble it.
Okay. Yeah, a fumble would have represented you not even seeing him. Right.
Indeed.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of catch him as he's starting to wander back up to his high spot.
Now, my question is this: Do I know who this person is?
Recognize +8. Not with your genealogy though. Just 8.
Understood. What? Success.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Sir Lane is his name. Lane of Lindsay.
You're cutting out quite a bit for me.
Oh, I'm getting the same from Liam. I think this is on our end.
Got you. I think because I can hear you
Yeah.
perfectly fine. I think we've gone into like the sub network.
Definitely.
We're 1 second out of sync.
Liam, can you confirm that you're there? All right. Let's pick up where we left off. I had requested a recognized role, and Cynstenian got it. You mentioned Lane, so you're aware of who he is. Banneret of Lincoln. So before Anarchy, he would have been, in the line to report directly to Uther, is how that would have worked. As a minor lord or minor warlord. But now it seems he's allied with Lindsay directly.
Before I start the roleplay, what is the correct form of address?
Sir.
Got
Yep.
you. And give me that name one more time, Sir Lane?
Lane, yep.
Yes. Cynstenian is going to be walking, and by happenstance, he is going to see him and go, Sir Lane, our honored guest, it is an honor and a pleasure to meet you.
He looks at you and we'll see if he recognizes the shield. He does. He says, you must be a relative of Sir Edrich.
You would be correct. My much more famous brother. I am Cynstenian.
Oh, yes. Were you at Lindsay as well?
I was, but briefly. And with less of an impact on overall battles. But I have had chance to go past now and again.
I see.
But
Well met, sir. He looks like he's going to move on before you kind of...
Yes.
Yeah.
Well met indeed. And I've been meaning to ask... I had some questions. It is very rare that we have so many esteemed guests, says Edrich, kind of like clinging a little bit like a very polite barnacle. Oh, no, sorry. Cynstenian says clinging like a very polite barnacle. And to have an emissary of King Nanteleod and a Saxon at the same table, I am quite curious as to the temperature up there. Both present a curious direction for Britain to be heading in, and some might say they go at right angles to each other.
He smiles. Indeed. It seems that most of the factions have a representative here from what I can find. Including myself, in truth. But things are far more civil than one might expect.
I see. Bless you, he says to someone passing, kind of doing like a benediction sign.
Thank you, sir.
But Cynstenian nods and says, well, I am glad that even in such times of anarchy, civility can be found within one's halls. But the direction that Britain can take, the Saxons and King Nanteleod cannot coexist. Indeed, one of the easiest ways to earn the favor of many of the Cymric knights is to vanquish invaders, which the Saxons very much are. And the Angles.
For certain. He's
From
kind
certain
of...
perspectives. Oh, yeah?
He says, there are threats everywhere, Sir Cynstenian. On all borders, and no one knows that better than Lindsay. For we now border 3 enemies, and rumors are that all 3 stir this year.
Lindsay, your threat would be to the north, to the east, and to the west. Does Malahut stir?
They say that they've called for a muster.
Do you know who has joined their banners? Is he joined by the pernicious King Lot?
Thankfully, no. There's no mention of Lothian or beyond Hadrian's Wall.
Hmm. Still, the Centurion King himself is a troublesome foe. Yes, Lindsay's situation is unenviable. But Salisbury too knows what it is to be surrounded by foes.
Hmm.
Indeed, one of them sits at the high table. I have a question for you. Has the good Prince Kinrick mentioned anything about his intentions as to why he's here? Making noises about tribute, or is he only here to forestall allying with other powers?
I think he looks a little annoyed because, like, really, he's like, here's my problem. You're like, yeah, but what about this? And I think that's kind of like, he'll answer you, but I think he's kind of done after that. But he'll say,
Indeed.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I think I overheard him speaking with the daughter, Lady Jenna. Lady Jenna and him were speaking quite civilly to one another. In fact, I was surprised to see them talking. Is he a regular guest at your table?
Not irregular, though his appearances are rare, annual if that.
If you ask me, there was a veiled threat. I heard something along the lines of, we're not foolish enough to wish for battle, but we'll extract our tribute and plunder if need be.
Well, not quite veiled there.
Well, it didn't
You
seem
have
to
done-
be a threat to Salisbury directly. It was some kind of discussion about their demands for tribute.
Indeed. You have done me quite a kindness, and I hope what I say next will be a balm for some of your worries. From my understanding, many of Malahut's issues with our knights in the past have been their willingness to ally with Saxons. There is a march out east which will tie up many prospective allies for Malahut for a few months to come. Salisbury shall see to that. For all else, that is above my pay grade.
He looks at you. I would disagree. You're a knight. You have a sword and a spear and a charger. I saw Liam do demon moves. Are we losing internet again between us all? His
I
head
had a-
twisted
I had a
this way and then that
slight
way. Yeah.
I had a slight drop, but it looks like I'm good.
Okay.
If you can hear me now, I'm good.
Yeah. His head was twisting like it was some weird horror movie or something. Yeah.
No, I
It was
don't
like
know.
here, then it was all of a sudden it was here. Yeah. Yeah. You have a sword, a spear, a charger. If Lindsay falls, the last time it was breached, St. Albans happened.
Indeed, and the very heart of London is threatened. The very same reason an army marches there now.
That seems like
When
news
I
to him.
said, yes, exactly. That's basically what he was saying. Like, thanks for telling me that. Here's a tidbit.
I think he says, it was, pardon my haste, Sir Cynstenian. I must be on my way. It was a pleasure to meet you. And with
I
that,
understand.
he doesn't go back to the high table, he leaves.
Yeah, straight up. Cynstenian predicts he's either on his way to warn someone or to chase after the army. Either way, if Lindsay causes problems, Lindsay will fall. If Lindsay doesn't cause problems, Lindsay could be an ally and a political bloc. All in all, that's for wiser heads to determine. He just set off the domino. And he's going to help himself to some roast eagle.
All right, and that is a fourth geniality. And
yeah.
we'll go to Cato for round 3. if Liam is still with us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, it's your go, sir, for round 3.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like Cato's been so out of whack without being able, or out of town, without being able to pull cards. So much of this is kind of above his station. So I think maybe
Some of the squires are getting access to wine that they're not supposed to get access to wine right now, but they're doing the teenage drink thing.
Yeah. You know what? I think I know what I want to do.
Okay.
This has been something I've been wanting to flesh out anyway, and I think this is a good opportunity. I think Cato's going to try to talk to Bishop Roger.
Okay.
The least religious priest.
I somehow doubt that.
Yeah, right. Least versus the waterman, maybe. Yeah.
Cato will potentially make his way over and kind of clear his throat. Bishop Roger, right?
He looks to you and we'll see. I think he's paid to recognize nobles. Yep. He says, Cato, I haven't seen you since you were a page. Remember right here in Sarum.
I'm very surprised that you recognize me, sir, but glad to hear it. I had a question for you, and I'm not sure there's anyone else in this court that would be equipped to help me answer it.
When you said that too, he says something along the lines of like a good shepherd always remembers every one of his flock, or his herd, rather. Yeah. He says, but how can I be of assistance?
It's been a little time since I've heard from my Uncle Brian.
Brian,
I know
eh?
that. Yes. I'm not sure exactly where he's at currently. My father, Virgil, was a set of quintuplets? No, quadruplets? Quadruplets? One of the brothers died very young, I think, but Virgil was the only one who made it into knighthood. The other one joined the cloth, and I can't remember the last time I spoke to him. I was wondering if you knew where he might be stationed. making you world build here, Bob.
Yeah. He says, yes, as a matter of fact, last time I knew, he was at Glastonbury.
Very.
In Summerland.
Not sure if. Well, that might be helpful in the near future, I suppose. I know that the men of the faith aren't supposed to play politics, but well, everyone's very nervous around here these days.
For what reason do you wish to know his whereabouts? Is there something I can assist you with?
I don't think so. In truth, as I get closer to my knighthood, I'm thinking a lot about my family and how fractured it's come since the king died. I think Perin held us together in a lot of ways, and my father's done an excellent job of making sure that the house is strong, certainly, but his interpersonal skills, even I can see that there's room to improve.
He nods knowingly, but says nothing.
I don't necessarily think it's time for him to come home or anything like that. He's serving God as he needs to, and I'm sure he's where he needs to be for that. But
Indeed.
suppose I can see some benefit to there being more open lines of communication, especially with pressings of Cornwall and now Nanteleod.
Well, he has given himself to the Lord.
In a way that so many of us only strive to.
Indeed.
I thank you regardless. If I'm ever out that way in my travels, I would like to stop by. Hopefully my sire will allow that.
There are those that travel regularly from Amesbury to Glastonbury and out as far as Cornwall. If you should ever need someone to pass a message, you can simply leave it with what out of character. What do we call the priest of each house of the houses? Like, do you remember? The abbot?
Oh, the abbots.
I forget what it's called.
Probably. No.
I
If there's
think
an abbey, it would be an abbot.
No, it's I forget what it's called. Some people have that with their titles right in there, but I don't. We don't use them enough, so I forget.
I know I have one on my sheet, but he might be dead because he was old.
Yeah, I just
His
need to know their
cloth-
Oh, that's
title
Yavis.
versus their names. It's the title I need.
Title.
Yeah, it's okay.
Mine keep dying. I've lost video, but that might just be me.
Oh, that's you.
Stream looks like it's okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt. That's just a thing I noted.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna move on from this.
Yeah.
But he offers you can leave it with your house, and they'll pass it on through Amesbury into Glastonbury if you need to.
That's kind of you, but I'm not sure I have anything more important than to say that I miss him. Thank you very much, Bishop Roger.
You would be surprised how much words like that mean when brothers of the faith live in isolation.
Then perhaps I'll make arrangements.
He nods. He's the worldly one, so he's going to say stuff like that. All right, so that's a third geniality. And that will close the feast.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I just want to do a check-in, boys, because that took a bit longer than expected, and I feel like between the camera issues, and it seems like some folks are maybe pretty tired here. How do we feel about continuing on for another hour? Where are we
I'm
at
down
with
with
that?
continuing.
I'm
if
good
the
to
others
go as
are.
well.
Okay.
I'm definitely tired in general, but I'm not tired like in the sense that I can stop. I need to stop. I might yawn every once in a while.
Okay.
How are you feeling?
I'm fine.
In that case, war.
What is it good for?
Money, I suppose.
Money is nice.
All right, I'm going
Money's only
to put
good
us
if you can
on
plunder the
one
army.
more BRB just for a couple minutes,
Yeah.
and we'll get going. All right, we are live because I hit the button early, so that transition was weak. Let's do this. We're gonna move away from this music, and we're gonna go to the Anarchy background noise. You guys, we're gonna move kind of to an actual like traveling scene versus doing the whole meeting and talking. I think we did a fair chunk of that, probably more than I wanted to in that feast. So we'll go ahead and move forward from here.
Talking in my tabletop role-playing game? No.
That's impossible. One sec.
That's impossible.
See if I can fix this. There we go. Okay. So we're going to quickly identify who's around you at this point and kind of what the situation is. We, of course, have Rhodri, Virgil, and Edrich. You represent Salisbury here, to be honest. Edrich, you're the marshal. Virgil, you're on the vanguard. Rhodri, I assume you're
here too.
You're probably attached to Edrich. It probably makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he's not really a vanguard guy, if I recall correctly. From Rhodri. He's not really front and center guy. Yeah.
No, he's very much of the opinion he's not interested in throwing his life away.
Yeah.
Only reason Edric's not on the Vanguard is because specifically Virgil really wanted it, and Robert told him to give it to him.
You wouldn't be on the vanguard if you want to be a marshal. This is not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm
Your
commanding.
value.
That's what you have your hound for. That's what he's for, Virgil.
Indeed.
No, Edrich.
I point and you bite.
Okay. A lot of familiar faces here. Aside from Ulfius himself, Ufo is here. Ulmir is also here. Ulmir would be attached to his father. Ufo is probably alongside Edrich and Rhodri because of, for obvious reasons, because of the upcoming wedding set for this summer. Yeah.
Can't have the heir die.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's supposed to be a role-playing game, not a role-playing game, but the other way, where we're supposed to roll a bunch of dice. Okay, so Satirius is here as well, as is Salados, his heir.
Nice.
There are a fair chunk of big figures from the Vale in general, including some of the barrack Saxons and some of the knights from Thamesmouth.
I think this might be the first time that this has happened, if not in Salisbury, for about a decade, right? Like two counties mustering together.
The last time this sort of thing happened, you were moving through Silchester to catch up with Ulfius for Albans.
Indeed.
And you ran
So we
into...
had our greatest victory and greatest defeat.
Yes.
Eosa, right? Yep.
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 Layer of giants.
Okay. So you'll
Keeper of
continue
Giants.
past Silchester into Berwick and then into Thamesmouth eventually.
Indeed.
The intel you have is that as you get further, specifically into Silchester, you have further information about who these armies are. A lot of generalizations, right, around Saxons. Like, not everyone goes, yeah, but which Saxons? They just say the Saxons. As you get this far, though, you learn that the Saxons are of Kent and of Essex. Both have brought out armies to the north and the south of the river, or on both sides of the river, rather, leaving Ulfius and his muster with an interesting prospect of what to do. What's more is, from the fracturing of Logres, it's pretty much just Salisbury and Silchester here.
Stilchester's main controversy was their alliance with Sussex. Do we have any of the South Saxons with us?
They sent a crew big enough to not breach their role of being allied to Ulfius. So mostly no.
Indeed, but not much more.
So it's a petty force.
It's a petty force indeed. Salisbury sent a reasonable force, and Silchester, or let's call it the Vale, because it's the whole duchy, right, is here in force. So it's considerable. It's 3 counties worth plus you guys. That's kind of the force you're looking at. All right. And when I say 3 counties worth, it's not every fighting man possible. It's about half the muster. There's still the counties individually are playing defense as well because they don't want to leave their back to Wessex, Port, and Sussex.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the fact that we will have allies in this fight allows us to leave a little more at home.
Kill. Oh, yeah,
That
that too.
All right.
So you said it leaves us in an interesting position, them being both on the north and the south of the river.
Mm-hmm.
Do they seem opposed? Essex and Kent?
It's unclear. I think you guys aren't quite there yet. Like, these are all the rumors coming in. But is there anything you guys want to do before you approach, I guess? Is there anything you want to confirm or better understand or anything of the sort?
The main thing Edrich would like to try and prevent is an ambush on the way. He's going to try to ensure that we have scouts moving ahead that can tell us if anything's going to, because these are Saxons that we're up against, and we're going to them. We just need to make sure the battle, when it happens in a more opportune way for us. And part of that is sending yeomen ahead to see if they can detect any kind of trap waiting in the trees.
Noted.
That's just a general thing that he'd have sorted out the moment we began to muster.
Yep. I mean,
Beyond
a lot of these lands, too, are controlled by Ulfius himself, and unlike the last time, he's not off mustering at Albans already. So you can assume that these lands that you travel through are quite stable, with the exception probably of Thamesmouth itself, because Thamesmouth is very close to Saxon territory. It would be the least scouted, the most fog of war, so to speak, right?
Indeed. Hence the reasoning behind scouts. But failing that, Edrich would like to get an understanding of where the battle might take place, to get an understanding of terrain, where to attack, what's going on. So reducing fog of war to do that, whether he needs to send scouts or talk to people who have been there, passing out of there like refugees.
You can test battle on. You cannot impassion yourself.
Alrighty. Success.
Okay. It's unclear. I think that's yet to be decided. What it does is it forces Ulfius to decide whether to split his own army or to apply the army to the north or the south river, or the north or the south of, let's just say either side of the water. Let's go with that versus getting specific to north or south. Yeah.
Based on my battle roll, would there be disadvantages to keeping the force all together?
Would there be disadvantages? Theoretically, no. But then, are these armies marching separately? What is their goal here? Why are they both out? Or maybe they're contesting it. I think a lot of people are speculating that. Maybe they're just here to contest one another. And a show of force from Ulfius will make everything stand down.
I think Edrich will bring it up to Virgil, Rhodri, and Duke Orpheus himself, but he will say, I recommend keeping the force together as one united whole. As
Orpheus
one
is not
mailed
with you.
fist of the
Orpheus
knights.
is
Oh, gotcha.
not riding alongside you guys. You would have to go out of your way to reach the Duke, right? You are.
Got you.
Yeah.
Oh, in that case, the decision isn't up to us.
Well, you can speculate with Rhodri and Virgil. That's good roleplay. I'm just saying you would have to go.
Yes.
You can go talk to Orpheus. I'm just saying it's an effort. Like you're not just riding alongside him.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Should I be making the decision, I would have all of our forces together as one mailed fist of the Knights of Logres. But I do not know if that decision will be what the Duke makes.
You could always bring yourself to the aid of the Duke, offer him advice. You have been marshal for quite some time now, and your honor and glory has proven you to be a mighty knight. He is likely to take your words.
That is the plan. However,
It is Orpheus's muster that he marches forth, and should he choose to split his force, then we would be honor bound to reinforce both sides, or to put our strength into one place. And that's not telling what the South Saxons might decide to do. I will be bringing my advice to him. The problem is what we will face up there. They've had time, if they are not warring amongst each other, to prepare the battlefield.
Then we'll test our mettle against theirs. We've got soldiers of their caliber greater. All we need to do is face them and win. It's not that difficult.
True enough.
But we have not yet heard word of the Angles, nor their part to play in this. Whether they're united or if they will be warring against each other. In which case things get a lot more complicated.
The Angles have recently been dominated in all-out war, and should they see the opportunity, I imagine they will try to seek revenge, and at the worst case, reinforcements from the east.
If anything the Angles have shown, is how often those of their mainland tend to travel over here when least expected.
Quite so. Hence why London's closeness to the coast is a problem. If it has been taken, a counter-siege will be difficult. If not, well, defense is far easier when there's someone friendly on the inside.
You assume they're friendly. It is quite possible they would not want Silchester to hold them either. Whoever stands as the holder of the city should know its value.
If they aren't, then they'll die alongside the defenders.
Quite so. If they choose to fight us alongside the Saxons, then they are worse than Saxons themselves. Traitors
We are
and
talking
scoundrels.
of London, one of the greatest fortresses on this island. It will not be an easy conquest if it is forced to that.
It will not be.
Do
but
not be so sure. That he kind of
Quite
looks
so.
ahead. My point is, I caution you towards assuming this will be an easy victory. No doubt there is something unexpected that will happen.
You are correct. Hence why I have placed such emphasis on forward scouts. It will not be easy, but it will be possible. The ownership of London and their temperament will be one of the aspects which define how we go forward. And I am hoping that there will be no sea-bound reinforcements for our enemies. But hope has very little value on the battlefield.
Well, if you wish to meet with Orpheus before the battle, you should most likely ride ahead in the brief time that we have.
Quite so. I thank you both for your counsel. And
Nods.
he canters up the charger.
Okay. You reach Ulfius. He certainly looks to have aged quite a ways since the last time you really spent any time with him. Definitely looking the part of an elderly man rather than the famous aging warlord. And you can't help but kind of realize that you're not a spring chicken anymore either.
No, indeed not. Sir Edrich will still give due deference to the Duke, and he will say, Duke Ulfius.
Sir Edrich?
Has a decision been made on the approach we will make once we reach the field of operations?
Indeed. We'll be cautious in the approach, but there's little reason to do anything but engage directly with the army from Essex on the north side of the river. We'll cross at Windsor, and we'll present ourselves as expected, being wary, of course, for any outcome that left unexpected.
Indeed so. So long as the army remains united, we shall be able to counteract most unexpected threats, particularly if we can hold off the army at the south side. Very well, I'll inform our men as to the plan going ahead.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna skip forward to London. As you guys get to the city, you see this excitement, anticipation. I don't know what you feel, but this is the biggest army, the biggest battle that you've seen since Albans. What's more is the army from Essex is rather massive, and unlike prior, they have knights from Heartland that had bent the knee prior. So they are not without knights. But what's always impressive when you look at a Saxon army is every man and teen, woman, they're all expected to fight. It's not, you might be able to bring along your infantry, which primarily is your trained commoners. It's pales in comparison to the sheer numbers they have of foot soldiers. And so even though Essex is about 1.5 counties, the numbers are intimidating. Like they definitely rival yours, just this one side of the army. Now with as far as cavalry advantage, you clearly have it. Yes, they have some knights from Heartland. It's about it.
Indeed.
You have entire shields of and conroys of cavalrymen. So whether it be sergeants or knights.
Quite so.
Okay. Other than that, the banners of Kent can be seen across the water. The scouts report back that the plains from the plains around the north side of the river, everything looks clear. Scouts are sent into Heartland, into the forests around Heartland, as far as St. Albans even, and there's no sight of any hidden force that, it's like lying in wait.
That was Edric's biggest fear, being flanked and overwhelmed by something unexpected.
You hear that Ridichin will not be arriving. They do send message that they will guard the hills to the north, basically saying, like, it's like committing to a defensive. We will beat reinforcements should they come from the angles down the road. So they're kind of
Very good.
held up near Albans. And that is the situation. Ulfius will wait for other reinforcements to arrive. There really aren't other reinforcements. There might be a smattering of knights. Like, I think Summerland probably sent a couple, you know.
And they're normal knights, right? They're not like green
Correct.
or anything?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Yeah,
All
they're
two of their
happily
knights.
accepted.
Yeah. And then there's, the
But
mercenary knights that answer Ulfius's call from all over the realm, but it's not significant. It does give you guys a considerable advantage on just Essex, at least. Like, you're in a good place for this structure.
I think as much as Ulfius called this muster, Edrich representing Salisbury as the marshal, he's ensuring the good standing and order of a lot of the men. His stewardship and battle are both pretty high, so he's just energetic 19, being very much a busybody. All right, everybody has what they need, right? Know your job.
Right?
Basically ensuring everyone is in good fighting form and welcoming those who would join the muster.
I'm going to see if I can get my actual book out from the adventure set stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just for the...
While you're doing that,
the
I'm going
new
to quickly run to the
battles.
bathroom. I'm very sorry.
Get back here.
No!
Edric dies of dysentery. We turned into Oregon Trail, actually. I decided I'm done with Pendragon. We're going to play the Great Oregon Trail campaign.
Yep.
So,
Stay away from Old Man Bridger!
Guys, I got cholera again.
Again? Oh, God damn it.
You think that's bad?
Alright, guys, we're gonna roll for disease for this day of the journey.
I think given the couple of times that we've prevented disease from striking the Summerland people, I hope we get some help from them there.
okay. I'm going to go ahead and bring us into combat proper. Let's
The battle.
listen to some older music we haven't heard. Bring us back some Uther music.
Now, everybody, let's have a good, clean fight.
Okay, so we're kind of in transition for battle rolls. I don't really want to do like a mini tabletop battle adventure. I'd rather kind of zero in on the individuals and see what's going on. We're gonna take inspiration heavily from the 6th edition rules, at least the ones that came in the starter set. I still haven't gone through the rules really in detail in the 6th edition.
I don't have those.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start with some battle tests from all three of you. All three of you are playing different roles in this battle. Edrich, you are in charge of Salisbury's forces entirely. You are, by default, expected to fight modestly here.
Yeah.
You may opt to do otherwise. I'm just saying that that's what your expectation is in the battlefield. Virgil, you are you're leading the vanguard. You're probably expected to fight valorously. Again, you can do what you want there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that though. I'm gonna kill.
Rhodri, you are attached to Edrich. Yes, that was your plan.
Yep.
I think you are then intended to fight modestly as well. You're not like a bodyguard
depending-
for Edrich. You run your own convoy attached to
Yes.
Edrich. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say, because your battle's pretty high. Like you'd be running a section.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're running a unit of knights, but you are attached to the not front lines of the battle. You can choose otherwise, but I think that fits Rhodri's personality. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Rhodri. Sorry. Okay. So
My question. Oh, sorry, you go.
go ahead.
Will this be contested, or is this just a general battle check for our understanding of what's going on?
Give me 1 sec.
Well,
This-
he's going through the rules.
This will start the beginning of battle, which means that every passion you utilize is gone for the rest of the battle. So that rule is staying. You may choose. This will be your first sort of like the beginning of the battle, the positioning, the making sure that everyone's in the right spot, making sure you're aware of your surroundings and that nothing gets pulled over, like moved past you. It'll represent a lot of things at a high level. For Virgil, it's going to represent crashing in. He's leading the first charge, so that will happen first. But it happens with you guys moving along and engaging in the same round. We're not going to have a special round for first charge this time. It's going to be first charge just happens at a valorous level, so there's more going on. So
I would like to see if I can impassion my hate Saxon, which is at a 15 for the first positioning. I want it to be as good as it could be.
okay.
Come on, big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies.
You can tick hate Saxon since you impassioned yourself with it.
There we go. Not a crit, but still okay.
Yep. Why don't we get the same roll from Virgil and Rhodri, please?
Oh, I did a battle roll. It was a 12 or 18.
Right, I see that now. Thank you.
No problem.
All right,
Success.
all successes.
Nice.
Okay. And the Battle of London begins.
And the battle was won!
Yeah, that's it. That's
We did it.
Yeah, good job,
God,
guys.
if only.
The real Battle of London was the friends we made along the way.
That'd be great. It's like, and no, that was it. It's like, but aren't we gonna fight? Oh, you didn't you rolled
We
once?
did. It turns out the Saxon army was just a bunch of cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, they're actually
Wait,
back in
hold
Salisbury, stealing
Yeah.
your base. Yeah,
In our base, killing our dudes.
killing your dudes. Yeah. That's what I meant to say. Okay, so you all are going to roll against. We're gonna give you guys different intensity rolls. For Edrich and Rhodri, your intensity is gonna be 7. So I gotta test that. Successful. So whatever you roll, that's your opponent. That's what you're gonna be stuck
Okay.
in. Your intensity, Virgil, is much worse because you are at the front of a battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it fails. So you can actually opt and go, nah, I don't want to. I want a different opponent. Bring me a different opponent, depending on how things go. So,
Bring me a different bastard.
Bring me
Bring me the
another
head of
Saxon.
Scotsland.
I need to
Yes.
know. We're going to start with Virgil because you are the first charge. I need to know whether you are. Actually, are you famously reckless? I think you are, right?
Famously reckless?
Yeah.
No.
No.
He's famously valorous, though.
Okay, then I would
Yeah, he's
suggest
got a
that,
14 reckless.
given your position in the battlefield, I would suggest you are expected to go famously valorous, which means you'll fight this opponent for 2 rounds.
Hell yes.
Now
do it.
you have an option here. Roll me a d20. Let's see who you're faced against to begin with.
Oops, shit. 7.
Okay. Let me just pull this up here and have the table ready.
Avatar of Lolth.
Yes. You're fighting mythical creatures.
Giant fucking spiders.
They have a cave troll?
And then a dragon shows up.
1 sec. Do.
Is that a cockatrice? So that's where they get them from.
If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm simply pulling up the armies that thou shall fight in thine battle.
Indeed.
I hate this book so much. There we go.
We love you, Chaosium.
No, the new books are excellent. These are old, to be fair. So,
I got you.
and they
got
might
you.
not even. This one might not even be. I know it's sold by Chaosium now, but might not even be theirs. They're not even responsible for it. Okay, here we go. Okay. You rolled a 7.
Yep.
You are positioned against a snarling spearman.
Does the snarling give him?
Does the alliteration give him superpowers?
Is Snarling Spearman here? Does he give me more glory? Is he a worthy opponent, would you say?
Opposed to a spearman with a relatively calm disposition.
I will warn you that these opponents will be some of the hardest Saxons because I do not consider you guys beginners anymore. Not entirely.
Indeed.
Yeah. And
How much glory do I get from this man?
Okay, I will tell you that you can definitely do better there. They're going to be tough.
Give me another one.
Okay. Another one.
If Virgil's dying tonight,
Yep.
it doesn't matter. That this is the man. This is what he does.
You hear
I got a
voice
4.
above the clamor of starting battle saying, "Don't throw your life away for no reason. Kill the enemy."
I think Virgil's the Snarling Spearman here.
No, rather than rolling, I want you to take a battle test because you have an opportunity to change your opponent.
Okay. My battle is not good. That's a
Ooh.
fumble on battle, sir.
Okay. What this means is as you move to change intensity, I think you're going to end up in a position where you're facing 2 at once. So you move to break to fight a warrior that's just like he's like foaming and screaming at the mouth, just eager to hit you with his two-handed spear.
I will say, I did not know that I would have to make a battle roll to switch opponents. I thought that was just something I could do.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I don't know if I would have made another battle roll. Virgil's not very good at battle.
You can downgrade the fumble to a failure, and then you won't face both. It's only the fumble. The fumble is the only reason why that's going.
Yeah. Yeah. Do I still have my yearly?
Yeah, you just started. You just started.
Yeah.
I do.
You just started.
203. Yeah.
It's battling. I mean, you could.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Fair enough,
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Spending it.
Okay. Don't die. Oh no! Wait,
What are
hold
the
on. You're
chances
spending
you-
it to
Yeah.
upgrade it.
Yes.
Okay.
He has
Just upgrade.
he has a two-handed weapon, not a great spear. It's an axe, and he runs at you. So you do get a charging bonus of +5 because you are charging. You get a +5 for having mounted advantage because he does not have a great spear.
Yep. And he's at -10 as well. Then, yeah.
He's -5 reflexively.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Nice.
Okay.
What's your
fucking
base
dead.
lance?
My base lance is 19.
Very nice.
That's a true 20 as well.
That would have been a fumble then.
Oh, good thing you had the bonus.
Yeah. Thank you, Thomas.
Nice.
And without that, he would have crit if he had not a -5. So there you go. So
Thank God we have horses.
yeah, and Virgil, for probably the first time in a while, has a good start to a battle. So this is great.
Yeah.
So you
Like,
get
this is exactly. Oh, sorry, you go.
you get a crit here as you charge him down. Let's see what your damage looks like. So you get horse damage plus 46 on top of that. So 66
I don't need
plus
a
40.
horse. I've got a high enough strength that my horse damage is the same as my regular damage. That's going to be 32 damage total.
You have 6 dice damage now?
Virgil has a strength of 17. He is very strong.
What's his size?
16.
Okay, yeah, you might have a. I can't remember if that works out to 6 dice.
He's
that's
famously
correct.
big.
Yep.
You big dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay, let's see. They do have armor, but he failed, so he doesn't get any sort of shield. So 32 minus 10.
This is
22.
exactly what Virgil is best at, what the Vanguard is supposed to do, and an excellent opening to the battle, and exactly what Edrich would want to do. But instead, he is elsewhere.
The future
Ooh.
is now, old man.
Because you critted
I'm
and he
2 years
failed,
older.
I gave you an extra of exploding 1d4 and it exploded twice. So you did a total. Basically, he ends up on your spear. You end up having to release that spear as you drop him to the ground. He's completely like. There's a second where you're riding with him. This is probably the famous part of like why people notice, where he's like on the end of your spear and you're like holding him up with like both your hands, like right, like
Yeah. Virgil's just screaming and laughing maniacally as the horses crash into the front line.
mhm.
There's my boy.
Alrighty.
Just Rhodri going, what the fuck is he doing?
Okay, so that is the start of the battle. Now the armies are going to engage from there. You were assigned to that opponent to fight valorously, but you've killed him in one go. You know, I'm going to change my mind. That happened first. Now we're into proper battle. So those intensities for you two still counts as this round. Let me quickly throw up some ambient battle sword stuff.
Oh, while you're doing that, not to overload you, but Trent reported that
I'm
the
not worried about it.
follower goal
Yeah, I
thing-
don't. It's all good. I care more about the follower goal than whether or not people can see my math at the bottom of the dice. They'll see it eventually if they
All
care.
good.
Yeah. Let's see. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, so the battle has begun. You guys won't hear it. I'm sorry, but it's more there for them. No. I know.
I always hear the clashing of steel.
Okay. So neither Rhodri nor Edrich can change who their opponents are. It's just the way of things. These would be people crashing into your lines, like. So this is at the beginning of the battle. It's because of the intensity. If the intensity succeeds, you don't get a choice. It doesn't matter how good you are at battle.
Indeed.
So intensity at 7 strangely succeeded, and you don't get a choice here. As you approach carefully, I'll take a d20 from each of you.
They're trying to decapitate us.
I think they're going to do a bit more than that. Ready his sword and shield.
Okay, we're gonna go to Rhodri first. You see a javelineer. There's like a unit kind of approaching it towards your flank. The Javelineers are supported by long spearmen, and one of the Javelineers takes a shot at you, good sir. So we'll see what this looks like.
Bastard. Is there any roll I can make to defend myself?
Nope. Your shield gets automatically accounted for in their roll, and then they can't do anything if you decide to run them down. What I need to know, are you breaking your fight prudently for this?
Kill the spearman? Yeah, probably.
You don't have to, so if you fight valorously, it means you're up against them for more than one round. That's the big thing.
Well, I can only attack him if it's more than one round, right?
Nope. You get an attack after. It's just missile weapons always go first.
Oh, alright.
Yep.
In that case, yeah, I'll fight modestly.
Okay, they do hit you. They hit you for 10, so that'll be absorbed by your armor. And you can chase him. You can run him down if you want.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Roll your. You can charge at him. Yeah. No, actually, not under prudent. I don't think you get to charge it under prudent.
No.
Yeah. I think you can make a on-horse attack though. Yeah.
My sword is better. However, I do get my horse bonus, right?
Yes. Yep.
To the Javelineer, a meaning of pain.
That's a critical.
Okay.
It's a 23.
Very cool.
Throw me your damage. Let's see if you kill him. Let's go.
I don't get horse damage, but it doesn't matter. My damage is pretty big. Rhodri is strong. But I rolled like shit. 17.
17.
Doesn't have a shield,
wait.
so
Crit damage.
Okay.
nice.
That's a 29.
He's a Javelineer, so he's super dead. You do your part. The Javelineer falls. You get 10 glory. Just looking back for Virgil, he got 10 glory as well against his opponents. I will warn you that a lot of these units are capable of impassioning, and should they impassion, they give a bonus for glory if they're impassioned. They're worth more, right?
I remember
still
one of them
stand a
just saying,
chance.
hate you.
Yes.
Edrich.
Still don't stand a chance.
Edrich, you're fighting a warrior frothing at the mouth. He has a two-handed weapon. What do you want to do here?
I think Edrich still fighting prudently. He would go and engage this warrior to make sure he doesn't get too close to him and his conroy.
Are you impassioned?
Unless the first passion counts, I don't think so.
Okay. Sounds good.
Critical. Oh, that is a exalted fashion on his part.
But he rolled, I don't know how that worked. He rolled a 1 plus 10, so an 11. So, you're gonna get the upper hand here.
Alrighty. I am going to roll damage plus crit bonus damage. That is 39 damage.
Okay. From here, I picture this kind of like you don't know exactly everything that's going on. Now you're in the sea of this battle, and it's like a sea of people and weapons, and you're having to micromanage. Am I focused on myself dying, or am I doing my appropriate role in this and looking after things? And that's what battle will represent in those moments. So we'll still call for the battles. It's not every single turn, the battle rolls. We'll move as Edrich cuts down the frothing the warrior frothing with hate. You get 20 glory for that.
Nice. I think what this looks like is Edrich seeing the vanguard make connections. So Rhodri going into battle, he's like strategic mind working, like sword and shield in hand, and as he just in the distance hears ah, and prepares. Despite his low dexterity, his skill with the sword is quite high. He moves swiftly to dispatch him.
Imagine him going, is that Virgil? No. Die.
Exactly. Only one man can approach me while screaming like a berserker.
Speaking of Virgil, your intensity is gonna be an 18 now because you're in the thick of things.
Hell yes.
So you're stuck with whoever you roll against. However, I'm going to suggest that you have a +5 to the Saxon army table because you're so far up there. I'll say +3. I just don't think.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
I've got an exalted passion now, so I'm feeling confident.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to do flat because sometimes the bottom ones are worth more than, like, they're kind of a little more spread. Like they're randomized, I guess, a little bit more in this table.
Yeah.
So, top
Give him
still
a
means
-5.
top still means big deal, but I'd say go flat. Let's start there. Are you fighting valorously?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a d20.
3.
Okay. You have another screaming warrior on your go.
Very well.
This one has a spear, not a great spear, just a spear. As he charges.
Yes.
When
okay,
you
cool. So I get my reflexive bonus.
Yeah, and he is not impassioned currently.
Am I allowed to know what his skill is before I roll?
Nobody's not impassioned.
Okay. Then I am not going to use my passion. I'm going to save it.
Okay.
Oh, that's without my reflexive bonus. So, that would be 7 out of 20.
Yeah.
Could be better.
Ooh. All right. He will hit 20 minus your armor minus your shield.
And
4.
Yeah, so 4. Yeah, not bad.
And then what's your size?
16.
Okay, 16 size. So you have to make a horsemanship test. Good to go.
Success.
You stay on your horse.
Hell yeah. I will not be the reason for the meme tonight.
Nope. And you get to you will be engaging him again next round automatically.
Cool.
Yeah. Because you
decapitate this man.
you get 2 rounds against someone you fight valorously against. That brings us to Edrich and Rhodri. Your intensity is picking up a bit now. It succeeds, so you're stuck with what you're stuck with. I'll take a d20 from... let's do it one at a time. We'll do Rhodri next. Or another Screaming Warrior. This one has... This one has a Great Spear.
Son of a... Alright, let's stab this guy.
Kill this bitch.
So he does not get his -5. That's good.
Oh.
Very nice.
Hey.
Okay. You managed to hit him. We're gonna assume you're still fighting prudently, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna have like
Wouldn't
one
have
exchange.
changed.
Like he comes by, you swipe and hit him, and then it's like there's this sea of people around you.
Yeah.
People have managed to push up in your ranks, into the back ranks. I figure you guys too are like you're one full rank past Ulfius. Does that make sense? Okay. You're a sub army of. Okay, 17 damage.
I don't think that's enough to kill.
No, that's not. He succeeded too, so he does have chainmail. One thing you're noticing is a lot of these guys are now wielding chain. You know, last time you fought Saxons, they weren't in chainmail. That's a little more intimidating, right?
Yeah. They keep killing us and taking our stuff.
He does, however, fall on his ass. Like, it's not gonna hurt him, but he falls prone.
Yeah.
So you'll take 1/3. You get 3 glory for this round.
All right.
Somebody get the number of that bitch.
18.
Thank you.
Edrich.
Absolutely.
I accidentally closed the tab.
You have your dreaded enemy, a javelineer.
I swear to God, if that javelin leaves your hand will be next.
So
I cannot wait for you to be out of this fight again.
It was so close.
So close to a crit.
You just out of nowhere, all of a sudden you see it, and it's like it's slow motion. You're like, not again, and you're just like manage to raise your shield up just in time to catch it. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Now-
I think torrents of hate coming from Edric's eyes.
Do you want to just forego this? I mean, it's kind of the role of what you're playing here. Is you're not necessarily in a glory-seeking position, unless you rally your men to do a charge or something, you know, or to engage further in.
While Edric isn't in a glory-seeking position, he's also not an armchair general.
Yeah.
He's going to do his part, and it doesn't overextend him to take out this javelineer. If it were otherwise, and he would be moving out of position, then he'd just leave it.
You
for
kind
others
of
to do,
are
but as
moving
it
your
is-
position into their rank, so it will increase your intensity. As long as you're comfortable with that, then that's fine. And I would say, unless you're doing this heroically by yourself, you're moving your whole army into a ranged, opponent who's probably backed by his men. So as long as you're comfortable with increasing your intensity, I'd say go for it.
I am comfortable with increasing our intensity.
Okay.
The more we break our enemies, the faster the battle is over.
Okay.
I said, whoever threw that javelin, your mom's a hoe.
Your mom's a hoe. Success on sword.
All right. He can't fight you, so you just run him down. Give me your damage.
Sweet. Oh, tiny damage.
Wow, that was really bad. I think it's one of those things where he's like short, and you're low dex, right? So you're just struggling to get low enough on your horse to like hit him, and you clip him, but it's almost like you can feel like it was more of a physical hit than it was like an actual a slice. You don't feel like you kind of look at your blade and there's not even blood on it really. But he does like topple and roll. Yeah.
I didn't know they made Saxons that short.
Yeah.
Continue, man.
Yeah. That's why he's a javelineer and not a screaming warrior, right?
Yeah.
I do think it's funny how you singled out this one javelineer. It's like, I'm going to send my whole army after you.
Can you imagine it being on the
3
field
glory
of World
for
War II
Edrich.
and General Patton drives a tank towards you? 3 glory, excellent.
All right.
I catch up to what Florence got in a single feast.
We move to Virgil without it being a new round. This is just valorously who your opponent is. Actually, no, sorry. It does count as a new round. I'm wrong on that.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
just not a new opponent.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna kill this man. I'm gonna do it. This time, I'm really gonna do it.
Do it.
Better?
Do it. Do it.
I don't, unless he crits. I don't think he can beat me.
Don't ever Don't say that.
Yeah,
Don't say that. Don't say
Only-
It doesn't do
only I
anything.
can say
You,
that, and-
you superstitious bastards. It's fine.
Listen,
Watch him crit.
listen.
If he will, it would have been a statistical anomaly, not because I said anything about it. Anomaly.
and
It's
nominally.
not how statistics work.
Um,
Use a 1 in 20 chance.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he had a 1 in 20 chance until Liam said that. Now it's a 1 in 5.
Let's see what
he
he's
fought
got here, Bob.
sword. He rolled a 9 versus. Yeah.
Which door will he pick?
The math goblins. They control.
The mind goblins.
Oh, no.
Everyone is expecting it. Everyone's like, oh, here we go.
Mind goblin these nuts, and I decapitate them. All right, here we go. 20.
Good solid hit.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled 3
Not
ones
not
on mine.
not great damage, honestly, from somebody who does horse damage with his barrow hands, but whatever.
20 is still pretty swanky. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
around
Alright.
average.
It's all right,
That's
I
about the
guess.
average. You got 2 6s and 2 1s.
3.5 times 6 is 7 to 3, so it's just below average.
And he failed his roll though, so that's good for you.
Yeah,
it means he
shield.
cannot apply his shield. He does get the. So you're gonna deliver 10, and then we'll see if you put him on his butt. No, he stays up, but you're still gonna get. For engaging him for 2 rounds, you're gonna and beating him one of the rounds, you're gonna get 5 glory for that opponent. For that, so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna go a little bit more. We're gonna do 6 because you engage him for 2 rounds. So,
Hell yeah. Slightly more.
slightly more.
I love slightly more. It's my favorite
5.
kind of more.
That brings us to Rhodri and Edrich. We'll determine your intensity now. We'll.
Gonna be high.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're still locked in. D20 from Rhodri.
Well,
12. Okay. You, sir, are facing a chanting set of a chanting warrior. He's chanting something under his breath. It seems to be repetitive and increasing and growing as he starts to move towards you. He is not impassioned. I will always tell you when they're impassioned. So,
okay, in that
Yeah.
case, I'm just gonna do a regular hit against him.
Okay.
He is not in a horse, correct?
correct. And he has a sword.
So I gain a +5 and he has a -5.
Yep.
Rolled like shit.
Oh, you still beat him.
Let's see if my bad luck continues. No, I did pretty well that time. 23 points of damage.
All right. It's a strong hit. We'll see if he gets toppled over by that. Yep, he's on his butt. I'm assuming that you guys are still fighting modestly currently.
Yeah.
So
I think assume, in the case of Rhodri, assume he's fighting modestly unless I say otherwise.
yeah.
Safe bet.
Edrich, your go, sir.
Absolutely. 10.
Okay. You're fighting a Wotensman.
Wotan, Wotan.
Wotan, Wotan. It's
Wotan,
been a while.
Wotan.
It's been a long time since we fought a Wotan's, man.
Yeah.
We haven't been fighting Saxons for a little
I
bit.
know. That's fucked up.
Hey, Wotan clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Indeed.
Well, we'll see.
All right.
Is he impassioned?
No, he's not. But decide what you're gonna do. But no, he's not.
I think if I impassion myself now, will it apply to? Is there a battle roll coming that I can be efficient with it, or would this just be for this one bout?
It would be for this one exchange.
Got you. In that case, I kind of want to bolster myself
but I want to save all of my other things, and I don't want to risk going insane. Tell you what, I think I might impassion myself with Loyalty Lord.
Okay, yeah.
Success.
All right.
Okay. Will my horse bonus apply to him?
Before you attack, Wotan's men have that lovely thing of a heavy javelin fire, and they get to attack with a weapon. That's their. So
Which
it's
is
been
exactly why I impassioned myself.
Yeah. So
Smart.
so you're facing the heavy javelin first. Good. Goes wide over you. That's good because those things hurt a hell of a lot more than the minor ones. Yeah. And then you're facing him with a great spear.
Got you. No horse bonus?
No horse bonus.
Still a critical.
You're gonna beat him. Yep.
Wonderful. Let me roll damage. 18, not too impressive. 13, that is a total of 31.
31. Nice. I think what is his level? Standard chainmail. He did succeed though. So he is going to. It's gonna stay up. 30. You said 32, right?
31.
31. So 21 damage. He's really hurting when you leave him, and it's like one of your men kind of moves to. You're not used to this, too. This is the first time you fought as a marshal, really. Like, it's uncomfortable to go from the hero to take the back seat. What is your modest, though?
His modest is decent. It's 13.
It's not decent. That's strong. So you're not particularly proud. So,
yeah, Edric's very pragmatic. He's getting the job done is more important than like taking the front row seat.
That's good because that's your only option. So.
Indeed.
Okay. That brings us back to Virgil.
Oh, do Rhodri or I get any glory for those?
Yeah. So Wotan's men. You did not kill him, but you did hurt him quite a bit. I'm gonna give you 15 glory for that. And the Javelineer is worth you fought a Javelineer, right? Or did you fight a warrior?
I did fight a Javelineer by clipping him across the head.
Chanting warrior.
Chanting warrior, thank you. You got 7 glory for that.
Right.
We are round 4 now, right?
That's right.
We are.
Okay. Virgil, you went 2 rounds with that opponent. It's time to test your intensity again.
Give me more. Give me more.
Yep, roll a d20, good sir. Let's see what you're up against.
11.
Not your
Someone
favorite.
worth my time this time. Man with a great spear.
Let's see what he's fighting with.
Man with a plan.
Okay. You see an archer, actually.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah. You see a mace too. It's like really disappointing. He has the mace at his side, but he opts to knock his bow and
This
fire
guy
away.
sucks. I'm gonna enjoy killing this guy. But like, not in a fun way.
he just
And he
stares at him and
misses.
goes, "Oh, I'm gonna
Almost
enjoy
crits,
killing you."
But he misses.
Yeah.
He gets like really close, like right over your shoulder as you run him down.
Nice.
Same damage, but yeah, you can't do horse damage when you're with a sword. But
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is same damage. Yeah.
so in that case, 22 damage. He doesn't have much. He has that Kerbuli armor, so 14 damage. He's an archer, so he's a little bit more dexterous. He's gonna stay up. So you'll be facing him next round as he reaches for his mace, very cut and hurt, and yeah, wanting to.
Flee, you worthless cowardice cur!
I got you for one more round.
Okay.
Fucking run! Save your own life, you fool!
Fly, you fools.
Rhodri.
Yeah.
We need to test your intensity, don't we? Or are you still facing an opponent? Yeah.
No, because I only faced them once.
Yep. So roll a d20. Let's see who your opponent is. 9. Okay. You are fighting a spearman.
Please not a great spear. Please not a great spear.
He does not have a great spear. He looks like a veteran. Looks a little bit older.
Well, I'm about to make him a corpse. +5.
Don't get cocky, kid.
It's working out
What
for
was
you.
that?
All right.
What was that, Thomas?
Nothing. Never mind.
Give me your full damage then.
Never punished.
Sword and crit.
27 plus 14.
Ooh. This guy might be dead.
41.
Yeah. 41 minus. He did succeed though. Was he? Oh, it just says. Ooh. Yeah, he's dead. You kill him in one strike. 15 glory to you, sir. Edrich, D20 for you, sir.
That's me. I'm Edrich. 19.
When you turn around, you see someone moving as fast as they can for you, much like the foaming at the mouth sort. He looks that part. He looks like Virgil on a bad day. His eyes are dead set on you. He looks like a predator that's found his prey, and he's about to close the distance. He moves lightning fast. As he does so, on his feet, you are facing a berserker, good sir.
Good.
Will we get to see my favorite passion in this game?
Hate you.
Yeah.
I will be impassioning myself as well. This seems like a worthy opponent. I would like to yell at the top of my lungs the war cry for Winterbourne Stoke, and activate my love family passion, because I want to get home and see them again.
I would like to not die here! Honestly, we need a character with something like love myself. Or
That
love
would be
you.
that would be so great and
we used to.
amazing.
There was a time when Florence, I think, was that boy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hate everyone. That's so much nicer.
I like the idea it was called Hate You.
Yeah.
You in particular. Fuck you.
I know whose dick I want to suck, Daniels. Everybody's.
Okay, so these guys always attack in reckless attack. So you have the opportunity to hit him first. with... Let me just make sure I remember what that is. You get some kind of bonus for it.
Because I've never heard of that before.
I think it's called reckless attack. It's one of the maneuvers.
Yeah, reckless attack. They have a special thing that
It's not popping up.
basically... Isn't it like the thing where they take the hit, but they basically attack last and they're guaranteed to take the hit if you hit, but they deal extra damage or they get a bonus to the attack, so...
What's the full attack again? What's that called again? That's what they're in, effectively.
Full attack.
I don't know.
Is it
There
full
was something
defense?
for this.
Because I
No, full
remember,
defense is
like,
the opposite.
What's
Yeah,
that
when
called?
AP
Like, I'm trying to find the right thing in the book.
right.
Do you remember? I don't remember what any of the maneuvers are called right now.
nor do I. I remember when AP came on, he made mention of some of that, but
We've had people do defense. We've had people do it multiple times.
yeah.
That's the one where you don't get anything. I'm just looking for it because it'll be close to the other one, is what I'm looking for.
Dodging.
Optional combat tactics.
Is it
uncontrolled.
an uncontrolled
Yeah.
attack?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
So you get to try to knock him down. Should you fail,
Got you.
he gets or kill him, right? Should you fail to do either, he gets a +10 to his skill as he comes crashing into you.
But if I succeed, I still apply my shield, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. In that case, I will strike. Let me see if this succeeds. I'm impassioned, and I got a horse.
For me. Okay, make a free attack on opposed first. The attacker is knocked down, his roll is over. Attacker is not stopped, he strikes the +10 skill. The defender's shield always counts in this if he has one. Okay.
Understood. Ugh.
Oh, buddy.
Okay.
It's better.
That's total of 26.
Okay, what I'll do is this. I'm gonna assume these guys have a base of 13, and then I'm gonna add 1d10 to him.
He would also get the impassioned bonus because he is impassioned.
Yeah, no, this is about his size right now.
Oh, right.
Okay, 17 size. So 34, so he's not automatically knocked down. Now it's to see their dex, but these guys have a good dex.
And they're impassioned.
Yeah. He can't fail it. So let's look at your damage now. 18 versus +8, yes?
26.
26. Will not kill him. We've determined his size. I think his con's going to be up there too, like probably a 15. 15 and 17 is unlikely to be unconscious at 26, yes?
Yeah, it'll probably be at the major wound level,
Yeah.
Yeah, he would take a major wound, but
Yeah.
but
So-
he'd probably still get the thing.
yeah.
That said,
Ooh.
does he have to...
Yes, he does. And he just failed it.
Oh, baby.
You see him, and there's that look for a second. I'm just gonna see what, just for a purpose of seeing how deadly this just about became.
We'll see what damage I...
Yeah, let's see what he would have hit you with. Yeah.
Holy bonkers, I know.
So he would have rolled d20 versus 18 plus 15. Hold on. 7 plus 15. So
roll too.
he would have crit.
Still would have crit.
No, yes,
Yes,
just
he's
barely,
fine.
just barely would have got a 20, just barely. And then he would have done 7d6 plus 4d6.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, that would 45 minus 15 is
30, that would have killed me in one go.
Yeah.
It would have been one above my hit point maximum that I avoid by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah.
I think what it looks like is almost like the male coif that Edrich is wearing to the very edge of the axe that he's swinging as he moves slightly out of the way to thrust with his blade.
Okay. You get 30 glory for that, and we forgot to add for Virgil for leading the for being part of the first charge.
Yes.
He gets 100 glory for that.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love having 100 glory. I love having more than 100 glory.
Okay.
I love having a lot of glory.
One more round for the day.
Glorious. Oh, that would have been so bad.
Yep. But it worked out. I thought, I'm like, this is going to go through. We're going to see how this goes. And like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Truly, that was such a bad damage roll with 3 ones.
Yeah.
In a different world, I
You
would
would've
have
dropped
beaten
him.
out on that.
Yeah.
But
That's always the danger with those things, right? It's like, if
Yeah.
it goes bad, then I think
It's
the
all
idea.
or nothing.
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, that brings us to Virgil. Are you fighting the same opponent, Virgil?
If I don't know, if I can move on to someone who's more interesting than this. If this guy flees, then yes. If this guy does not flee, I'm gonna kill this guy. And hell, I'll fight another guy too. I don't give a shit.
I don't give a fuck.
I think you were engaged for 2 rounds valorously, right? So you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he picks up his mace and will try to fight you with his mace. And
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna
I'd
roll.
love-
He's super
the
good.
emphasis on the word try there.
Yeah. So you can give me, yeah, dead.
Yeah.
You just he goes to reach for his mace and you're just like right through him and he's done. Just in one quick strike.
Fucking warned you.
Awesome.
Sit the fuck down.
Maron.
All right, cool.
Okay, intensity rolls for Rhodri and Edrich. Is that correct?
All right.
Let's see.
Real quick, what's Virgil's glory? For the archer.
Oh yes, that is 12 for the archer.
Very nice. So you're at 50.
All right. Intensity once again holds true. Rhodri.
This is where I'm gonna die. Yeah.
Ah, no!
Berserker.
Yep.
There's like a wave of them coming through now.
Love of family.
Yep.
I keep getting the Clark song stuck in my head when I say Berserker.
The barbaric.
Do I get a horse bonus against him?
You do.
Okay. This is plus 15 to the roll.
Okay.
I'm likely to crit.
Yep.
It's not impossible that I won't. I think this is the time Liam is going to yell at me for using my upgrade, but we'll see. Nope.
Hey,
I did
we
pretty
got it.
well.
Worked out pretty well
natural
for you.
17.
Yeah.
Okay. So you managed to hit him with a crit. Let's see if you get better damage numbers than Edrich did.
Please do. Yes, that is much better.
That's much better.
Much
Oh,
better.
that is 5 sixes.
Yep. Rhodri, this is an impressive strike. You're having a very good battle. If I recall, Rhodri didn't have an incredibly good battle the last time we fought. So
No, yeah. He usually doesn't do much fight. The fighting he does is pretty general. He's just up there in the midst. This is probably the first time he's ever been singled out by a powerful opponent. And I think as the screaming person comes nearer, he just swings his sword around in almost an instinctual, deep-seated fear, and just says, "You will not harm my family."
Okay, so 25 glory for you, good sir.
25. Was he impassioned or was he not?
No, I forgot to do it. He should have been impassioned, but I didn't roll it, so. And I would have honored that on damage. Yeah. It only would have added 5
damage.
Yeah.
Okay, Edrich.
Let's do it. 7.
The scary thing about these guys is, like, usually when you fight great knights, it's like you take one down, it changes the battle entirely. These guys seem to be like a dime a dozen. They're like, it's like you're fighting Uruk-hai. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, man, there's just waves of them, and they're strong, they're dangerous. Yeah, it's a Viking invasion, effectively. Like,
yeah. If we saw Lurtz, we'd try and fight him too. That's 30 glory for Rhodri.
Okay. He hates Britons, and he's gonna roll it.
Oh, also 23 for the crit.
Gotcha already.
Alright, cheers.
You have a snarling spearman that's coming your way. He has a great spear, Edrich. He is impassioned with hate Britons.
I would like to activate. This would probably be a Grand Lord. This would probably be honor for me.
Huh?
Because exalted passions are scary.
Honor. Okay.
Okay. Do I get a horse bonus?
No, you don't. He has a great spear.
Understood. Okay. Wait. I think I did that.
Did you really? Did you really?
No, I did it wrong. However, it would have still been a crit.
What did you do wrong?
I added an extra 5.
Okay, what should it have been?
It should have been 27 plus 5, which would have been 5 less than what I got. Which would have still been.
What's your total? After.
Total is 37.
No. What's
plus 17?
What is?
So it would have been 27.
27. Okay. Was your total roll?
Yep.
Okay. I want to go through that. So what is? You have a what in sword right now?
A 27 in sword.
Okay.
And I'm adding a
plus 5.
5.
Okay.
I rolled a 10.
Yeah.
And
plus 17,
added...
27. Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Okay. All right. You can go ahead and roll your damage.
There you go. Sorry about that. That was a slip of the keyboard.
No, it's all good.
28.
I just don't like the roller because it doesn't tell you what the number is. Because if they out crit you, then you're toast still. So 28 damage.
Very nice.
That will not end him, but it will hurt him. So.
Very good.
All right. That is.
They send their best in droves.
That is going to bring an end to the fighting for the day, as the camp set up overnight.
I think because things turned out quite well for the Salisbury forces on a tactical level.
No, you don't know that for sure yet. You have been busy fighting in the ground. You can make a battle roll right now.
I would love to. Can I apply my earlier passion or just do it flat?
Flat.
Just Edrich, or can we all make it?
Just Edrich for now.
Alright.
tie. They have not been
Actually,
going great.
I think
For every man you dropped, you lost someone important on your side.
also, Bob, I
Would-
think that's actually... No, wait, you're right, sorry. I'm sick. Continue.
Would things change if I were to upgrade that battle roll to a critical?
It will not change it. I do not want a decisive victory. I think it's really boring if we start using
fair.
our stuff like that. Like, you guys already have an overwhelming amount of advantages. Like, I do want to encourage. This is not a board game, so I'm going to take an aside here. Like, the goal isn't to win. The goal is to tell a good story. I don't want to lose track of that with the
Absolutely.
numbers. We are a little bit, though. Like, I want to make sure that we're focusing on the idea of a shared narrative where we can. I realize sometimes the
100%.
dice fuck you, but also there's been countless times where I kind of make sure the dice don't. So I just encourage
Yeah, you're a very wonderful GM.
not to go out of the way to ensure that you never lose at anything. It's just not interesting.
Totally fair.
Yeah. It is a stalemate. And you're fighting a subunit. So I'll say if you can do it, it will potentially have risks later on. But you're welcome to do it.
Based on
If
what
you think it's
said,
narratively
now I do want to.
if you think it's narratively interesting for Edrich versus narratively boring for Edrich, go for it. If you think this is
Well-
Edrich proving to Salisbury, if it's about simply furthering your goals for Salisbury, I'd say don't do it. If it's about Edrich standing out for himself or a moment like that for Pendragon, I say go for it.
In that case, I'll save it for now. There's more that can be done which would be more glorious in this moment. I think a stalemate works fine. And then the next time, we'll see what happens.
Yep. Okay, so and then we'll roll for the actual generals.
Oh, Orpheus is dead. Well, that was fun.
This is just the battle
Could you
roll.
imagine?
Oh, God. Well, I mean, the 60-year-old probably isn't taking directly into the fighting.
No, even less than you guys are. All right. So overall, you guys are starting to make some ground here. Like it's a battle of attrition, but you're succeeding. Things are looking like it's just a matter of time as the fighting comes to a close because it's near dark at this point.
Indeed.
So it's
All right,
not so
let's
much.
break for lunch.
Yeah, almost. It's exhaustion, right? Could you imagine? Could you imagine doing anything that physical for that many hours at once? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, every weekend actually.
I too fight the barbarian hordes.
Constantly. They're a huge menace out here in California. You gotta stop them all the time.
Mhm.
But yes, us being slightly on the winning side, that's what I was looking for.
That's all we need.
okay, one sec here. Doo-doo.
Fighting for hours, blood soaking clothes and the battlefield and weapons, arms like tired and heavy as lead. Edric's feeling it, but at energetic 19, he's not feeling it as much as I think other people should be.
I don't know about you fellas, but I'm fucking knackered.
Okay, what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna get each of you to make a battle roll. Edrich -3, Rhodri flat, Virgil flat, and we'll see who kind of succeeds.
Absolutely.
Success with an 8.
Am I rolling as well?
Yep.
Yeah. Flat.
Okay.
No dice.
Do you want to swap rolls?
Yeah, actually. Can we have a once a year we swap roles too, Bob? Is
Right.
that something we can do?
Success.
All right. Does Rhodri have? Who does Rhodri have for? I'm trying to think. Oh, I know what this is going to be. I have a good answer for this. Okay. You see one of your kin. She rides in at night quickly. And she seems to be riding right towards you. It's clear that she was asking around where you were.
He'd look to her with confusion, kind of wave her down.
Oh, there you are. She sounds winded. She looks worried. She looks concerned.
What's the matter? You seem as if you've been riding for the entire day.
The Saxons. They took ships down the river. They're at your back. And a sudden realization sets in that over the last night of travel here, the Saxons apparently, according if her rumors are true, have sent ships down the river. They would be entirely at your back, preventing you from being able to flee very easily, especially if you were mid-engagement tomorrow morning.
Yeah, which means it's the perfect time for them to ambush us.
And I will note that I rolled battle privately and got a 7.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get that 8, you wouldn't have got news. You would have been engaged. You would have been locked in to combat tomorrow.
I think
That's so good.
Rhodri would immediately report this to Edrich, and together I think they begin to form a plan as to what they should do next.
Why don't we do that briefly and we can kind of break on that, but we'll have Virgil, Rhodri, and Edrich together as this kind of happens. Does that make sense? Because Virgil's like not up at the front anymore, not during this scene. Yeah.
I think with that, we cut in mid-conversation as Rhodri turns to Edrich and goes, I do not think we have any other choice, Edrich, or I would not recommend this. I think we must reach out to the forces in Londinium. We cannot continue like this, not with the Saxons at our back and at our front.
This was precisely what I wished to avoid, with being pincered between two forces. It seems that the other shoe has dropped. I would agree with your assessment if an arrangement or a messenger could be sent and could evade the besieging Saxon forces.
I am
But
all right with my words, but if there was someone better, someone more diplomatic, I do not think the one who holds Londinium will be eager to allow their aid.
Should send Virgil.
Edrich will think for a time and say, what is certain is this. We cannot allow our forces or the forces of Duke Ulfius to be attacked in the rear. Whatever else happens tomorrow, we cannot commit all of our forces to the attack, and some must remain to ensure that we have a defensive line at our rear.
If you would like, I could ride for Londinium and seek a meeting with whoever it is that holds it. See what I can do to convince them. But if you have others who are better with their words, I would not complain.
I think Edrich tilts his head, not looking at Virgil, but definitely considering Virgil as he says, beyond my own skill in diplomacy, I feel my presence is best felt on the battlefield. If you feel that your services would be best sent towards treating with those in Londinium, if you believe that you can evade the forces of the Saxons, then I would say that could very well change the future of the battle.
Very well.
And I think Virgil kind of looks over at Rhodri and he goes, "Sure to keep your eyes on the prize, though, Rhodri. I'm here, right? I am
Yep.
present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhodri kind of narrows his eyes for a moment, as if considering whether or not that was a slight before he goes. Well then, Marshal, I shall take one or two other knights just in case. I do not plan to get harried on my way there. If all goes well, I will see you tomorrow on the battlefield.
Before you leave, thank you for this warning, and extend my thanks to your kinsman who told you this. Without it, we would be blindsided.
Thank you very much. I will make sure to do so.
I shall confer with Ulfius, or this late at night, likely Ufo. We shall ensure that all of us do not get pincered.
Very well. Edrich. Virgil. With that, he turns and begins to make his way off in preparation for his nighttime mission.
Okay.
And we can do that next time.
No, we're gonna address a few points of that. You can test battle, horsemanship, and deceit.
Good for me. Rhodri is good at deceit. Can I impassion or not for these? He's just
I think you can impassion for one of the three.
okay. In that case, I'll use my honor. No. You know what? He's going to impassion his hate of Saxons.
Okay.
He's really not happy that they put them in this fucking situation. It's kind of driving him up the wall. Okay. I mean, how could Saxons outthink him? He's a genius.
Just one Saxon. He hates a guy named Saxon
Goddamn
His
Saxon.
intelligence,
with an
his
S.
intelligence is huge. Parentheses.
He's a
It's
son
the
of
son of
Sax.
parentheses. Genius.
Alright, and he will be adding that to his horsemanship.
Okay.
So, starting off with a battle. Ooh. Horsemanship +5. Ooh, I didn't need it that time. And deceitful. All successes.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah, Rhodri is famously deceitful, which I don't know how other knights feel about.
Oh,
Edric's fine with it. Like, honestly, he sees in Rhodri the knight that he would like to be.
okay. We're gonna go to
I see in
Edrich.
Rhodri a corpse.
We're gonna go to the next scene with Edrich and Virgil. Then, you're reporting up to Ulfius.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Tell me what you say and what you do.
Duke Ulfius, we have received reports that Saxons have sent boats down the river, so as either to cut off escape and retreat from our rear, or to attack when we are engaged in battle. Either situation is untenable.
Do we know when they arrived?
From the understanding given to me by Sir Rhodri, his kinsman found them after riding all day, perhaps noon.
Very well.
But anything more is conjecture.
We'll prepare some scouts and see if there's any sign of them. Do you have any other advice for me, Sir Edrich, Sir Virgil?
The next day will prove decisive, I should think. We should ensure that some of our forces remain to protect our rear, so should the worst occur, we are not completely blindsided and have more time to defeat the larger forces and break their morale.
I say they have proven themselves to fight dishonorably. The right thing to do would be to meet them on their terms and win this war however we have to. As they would.
And you would propose what in doing so, Sir Virgil?
They're a fan of ambush tactics and disreputable means of thinning out our forces. They need every advantage they could get to get even close to stopping us. I say we show them exactly what they have been doing to us.
A sortie at night.
If necessary. And given how well the battle went for us, and yet the position of disadvantage we still find ourselves in, I would say they'll never see it coming.
Indeed. Sir Edrich, if willing,
Yes, Duke Orpheus.
I will leave this honor with you in Salisbury.
I agree with the wisdom in Sir Virgil's words, and indeed, at the very least, the committed men would be no different than the reservist guards. Those of us who are able to, after a short degree of rest, shall redress, for they likely would not have had time to ensure defenses be built. Send your scouts out regardless, and we will ready our men for a nighttime raid.
Okay. Edrich, Virgil, I want battle rolls, please, at -10.
Absolutely.
I would like to use a passion.
Okay.
I've used Loyalty Lord, I've used Honor, I've used Love Family, I've used Hate Saxon, I think. Wait, have I used Loyalty Lord?
I would test honor, and even though I think this does meet Virgil's expectation of honor, I still think that using honor here is not as appropriate, so I will not.
100%. On the sortie.
Yeah. If more of the Sword of Victory were here, I'd roll Love Sword of Victory, but it's just Edrich. Very good. Let me... Yeah, I got nothing else.
Oh, the
Except
sword
hate
of...
self.
Oh, it's just me.
Do you want to know something fucked up? If I hadn't impassioned, that would have been a crit.
Man. That is a failure for me. Be right back. I have to answer the door.
Okay.
Hello.
We're gonna give him a second, then I want to try and complete. Okay.
Don't worry.
So-
Virgil's got this with this 8 battle.
The sortie's readied. It's ready to launch about 10 p.m. As you start to charge in, you get all the way and you see that as the scouts reported, it looks like they're kind of like they're celebrating and resting. There's no signs of a guard. I think it's Virgil who first realizes that this is a ruse, and out of the Wilderland to your flank comes a cavalry charging to meet you of predominantly Heartland Knights.
Indeed.
At the same time, the resting and celebrating group all leap to their feet, readied, weapons readied, and begin to emerge out of like what looked like a resting camp is quickly become one. You catch it just in time, Virgil, not to be at the point of a compromise here.
It's a trap! Fall back!
Immediate retreat.
You hear horns blow from the distance from your own unit. You realize with what was blown, they are under attack. It seems that the ambushing force from your flank, from behind, was not so far away after all, and that they weren't waiting until morning to strike. So when we pick up, we'll begin by determining the fate of, as you remember, Ulfius and Ufo are amongst that unit, as Salisbury decides whether to continue to fight here or to turn retreat and try and meet up with Ulfius's unit. And of course, we have Rhodri behind enemy lines, and we'll address that in another way. I think we're probably looking at Virgil and Edrich.
Very much looking forward. Very much looking forward for Edrich to spend another year in captivity after this.
Oh,
I think
God,
that'll be
I
really
hope
fun.
not.
Man.
They played us like a damned fiddle.
Maybe they'll get you a new Saxon wife. Another
Hey.
one.
Yeah, I'm excited
like-
for Punished Edrich.
I like my Saxon wife. My Saxon wife is the best. But yes,
Edrich has
honestly,
a
that
plus 5 lust when captive.
Hey, me
Hey,
too,
hey.
man.
Just because it happened those 2 times, both
It's-
times,
It's the
doesn't
handcuffs. It's always the handcuffs.
Indeed, it's
So, okay.
Oslaf and I. We have silk rope. We have chains. I know what I prefer.
All right. Let's go ahead and do some outros real quick, boys, and then we can let everyone go to sleep. So I know it's later than normal. Well, let Liam and I go to sleep. It's probably a bit too early for you two. Thomas.
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I have been Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke, and Marshal of Salisbury. And we'll see, defying all odds, we're kind of okay. We'll see if that continues next episode. It has been a delight to get back into battle and the swing of things.
Indeed. Mark.
I'm sorry I didn't see you there. I was just checking out our handy dandy Discord. By the way, did you know we have a Discord? Come check us out. Lots of fun things on there, such as reminders on whenever we go live, as well as new projects we are doing constantly. As well as links to all the different things we do and different channels we are on. Come join us in our myriad of projects, including Open Pendragon, which I'm sure Bob will talk about. I have been Mark, aka the Cat's Meow, playing Sir Florence of Idmiston, the Barony of Axe, and apparently Metal Gear Rhodri. So look forward to that next time.
There we go.
Yeah, I hope you all have enjoyed. I have a vampire thing I'm putting together that will be released hopefully very soon. There are some delays. I know I've been talking about it for a while, but it is a good, and I recommend that you watch it when I release it / stream it. Until then, have a good night. I hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe, and see our faces on other places. Bye.
Farewell.
Liam.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liam. I played Cato and Sir Virgil of Durnford, respectively. I also announced it earlier, but just in case, I'll do it again. We've got a podcast coming out on Friday the 13th of this month. That is September the 13th. It's called On With the Motley. It's going to be available on YouTube and Apple Podcasts for now. Might come to other platforms later, but it's a wonderful show. We got it we're really excited. Our first episode's on Doctor Doom, and we've got a lot of more fun nerd stuff that we get to explain to people who do not know what those things are. It's a great time, and I look forward to sharing it with y'all.
Awesome. And yeah, I'm Bob. I run Pendragon here on Sundays, on Tuesdays, and on Fridays, all in this connected world of craziness going on. I will add a couple more hints. So I'm 95% sure that I'll be running Open Pendragon 4 times a month, 2 set in Lindsay and 2 set in London as this is taking place. London will deal primarily with those who spend a lot of time in Heartland. I'd recommend that be the London game, but it will depend on timing of players. It's just the way it is.
Will Rhodri get a cameo, or is it in a different time?
May or may not. We'll see if you can fit the one that works on. If not, I imagine that I'm going to do a bit more of almost like a session 0 and kind of a mini campaign, and then just let people drop in as appropriate. But I think we need to do aging up or new knights, depending on what people want to do, because most of them have barely played their characters, and now their characters are like already hitting aging roles. So they have to decide, do they want to come in as a new character or not? We'll figure that out. Also, the new mini campaign I'll be running for Riddikin will be launched this week as well. And finally, I know this sounds like a lot, but remember, I'm coming from summer months to, like, I live above, like, north of Winterfell. So, like, once it hits winter here, I don't want to be doing anything outside. So I'm also going to be running a project called Sway that's going to be a little more lenient and relaxed on timing, no kind of weekly thing, more of a monthly type cadence. But that should be good fun if you like Judeo-Christian mythos sort of things, and the likelihood of things like Supernatural or The Exorcist or Dogma, insert other idea here, Good Omens, etc.
Good Omens.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Farewell.
Bye.